confident clean of Dude Wipes. Available on Amazon and at major retailers nationwide. Dude Wipes. Best clean, pants down.
Hey, it's Covino and Rich. Whether you're actively trading or planning for the long term, Webull gives you the tools to invest your way. Trade stocks and ETFs with real-time data, explore cash management, or build toward the future with IRAs and retirement accounts. All on one platform.
Now with Vega, your personal market AI assistant can give you real-time analysis, watch list insights, and alerts when earnings drop. Download the Webull app today and visit Webull.com and take control of your investments.
Webull Financial LLC, member SIPC FINRA. Investing involves risk. For more information, visit Webull.com/disclosures.
Hey, it's Grant Napear. I hope to see you March 7th at Capitol Mall for the Capitol Brew Fest. It is going to be awesome. The nation's best brewers, a great variety of food trucks, live music. Come say hello. That's March 7th at the Capitol Mall, benefiting Running for Red.
Downtown Ford Sacramento welcomes you with literally acres of new and Ford-certified pre-owned vehicles on site. You can start planning a road trip up into the snow now because Downtown Ford has the vehicles to get you there. And our top-notch service team will keep it running perfectly as long as you own it. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and fleet vehicles. Downtown Ford Sacramento. Open daily on Howe Avenue next to the How About Arden Shopping Center.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrud's.com.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
My retired friends are going back to work. I'm worried. Social Security won't be enough. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to $1,000 a month for food and medicine. It's free. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
Grant's back. Join the conversation every weekday afternoon beginning at 3 p.m. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
Hello,
Hello, Sacramento.
Sacktown!
And welcome in.
Grant Napear.
How you been?
You know this guy.
It's your show.
So happy to hear you on the airwaves.
2+ decades on the radio with you.
Just the start of an incredible journey.
Now he's back on Fox Sports 104.7 FM and 890 AM.
3 to 6 every day, Fox Sports Sacramento.
The phone number?
916-779-0929.
His name? Grant Napear.
Hello, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. We're settling in. I'm very happy to announce that tomorrow, in hour number 1, right off the top of the show, the talented, great Kevin Harlan. He's going to join me tomorrow. Can't wait. Make sure you don't begin late. Now, the good news is if you miss hour 1 tomorrow, you can listen to it on the replay at 6 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Sacramento. But, again, Kevin Harlan is going to be joining me tomorrow near the top of the show. So make sure tomorrow you do not tune in late. And then, of course, Sean Salisbury, he'll be coming on roughly about 5:05 after Grant's rant. The Kings are going to be home for pretty much the whole month of March. I don't know if that's good or bad. I really don't. I don't know what the crowds are going to be like during this homestand. Just walking around town and talking to a lot of people, there just doesn't seem to be the interest to go to the games. I talked about this on Friday that they're selling a 9-game package for $109. They're like begging people to go to the games. So anything to get the people in the seats, because if you get them in the seats, then they got to spend, a second mortgage on buying concessions and drinks. So I get that. Yeah, that makes sense. Get them into the building. So you do what you have to do. It's been that type of a season. I'm going to talk a little bit about the game last night. Good game for Nick Clifford. I really like how he's developing slowly but surely. But I want to talk about something that I wanted to ask you the question. Instead of me just giving you my flat-out opinion, I want to get your thoughts on this. I want to know how you feel about the sports world going absolutely wacko. Wacko. Like wacko. So here is the latest story about wacko, okay? So we talked a little bit about this last week. I'm getting to a point now where I got to put my glasses on to read. Pretty scary. All right. So the Atlanta Hawks last week announced that coming up on the 16th of this month when they play the Orlando Magic, they're having a Magic City Monday promotion. Magic City is a famous strip club in Atlanta. All right? Luke Cornett, okay, came out in protest against this today. He plays for the San Antonio Spurs. And it was very interesting what he had to say on this. There's a lot more to this story than meets the eye. But I want to tell you that Luke Cornett, in his statement, said, quote, the NBA should desire to protect and esteem women, many of whom work diligently every day to make this the best basketball league in the world. We should promote an atmosphere that is protective and respectful of the daughters, wives, sisters, mothers, and partners that we know and love. Allowing this night to go forward without protest would reflect poorly on us as an NBA community, specifically in being complicit in the potential objectification and mistreatment of women in our society. Now, remember that I said there was more to the story, right? So, they're expected to serve two versions of their, quote, world famous, unquote, world famous lemon pepper wings, okay? Lou Will Lemon Pepper Barbecue at the March 16th game. You're like, boy, that's a funny name. Lou Will Lemon Pepper Barbecue? That's right. That flavor is named after, what was it, 3 times, 4 times, 6th Man of the Year winner Lou Williams. Also, rapper T.I. is scheduled to perform at halftime. And Don't forget about this. Limited edition Magic City merchandise will be available to purchase at the game. Now, this is where this gets interesting. Magic City just celebrated 40 years with a 5-part docuseries on Stars, Magic City, and American Fantasy. Now, you ask yourself this question. Do you think there's a conflict of interest here? Do you know who produced that 5-part docuseries on Stars? Who do you think that would be? Now, it wasn't me. I had nothing to do with it. It wasn't Rhino. That was produced by the Atlanta Hawks principal owner, Jamie Gertz, and a native of Atlanta, Jeremy Dupree. That's right. By the way, Magic City founder, Mr. Magic, his name is Michael Barney, and T.I. are scheduled to record a live podcast from inside Atlanta State Farm Arena before the game. So you're telling me, and if you think things are bad in Sacramento, oh my goodness gracious. So you're telling me that Jamie Gertz, the principal owner of the Atlanta Hawks, all right? I mean, produced a 5-part docuseries on Stars called Magic City and American Fantasy. And oh yeah, by the way, you know what? We're playing the Magic in March, and we're going to have a big promotion that night to promote a strip club in our city. So I'm asking you, all right? I'm asking you, how do you feel about this? Do you have a problem? Do you think it's inappropriate? Cornette said this: I'd like to encourage the league, its owners, employees, and fans to hold the Atlanta Hawks to a higher standard of what they find worthy of promoting. I and others throughout the league were surprised by and object to the Hawks' decision. We desire to provide an environment where fans of all ages can safely come and enjoy the game of basketball, and where we can celebrate the history and culture of communities in good conscience. The celebration of a strip club is not conduct aligned with that vision. Agree or disagree? What do you think? Do you have a problem with that? If the Sacramento Kings had a promotion, okay, of a local strip club, would you be okay with that? Would you say it's out of line? How would you react if that were your city? And again, this is coming up on March 16th. 2 weeks. So we talk about the sports world going wacko, right? That's just another example of the sports world going wacko. You ready for this? I want to read a headline from the New York Post. Accepting Flavor Flav invite highlights women's hockey team's hypocrisy. Phil Mushnick, the best in the world, in my opinion, columnist, New York Post, says it better than anyone I've ever read in all of my years of covering sports. That's my opinion. If you disagree, that's fine. I have no problem with that. Apparently, every member of the gold medal winning U.S. women's hockey team despises Donald Trump, which is their right, no matter how dubious that seems. Group peer pressure? Perhaps. And showing up at the White House might be deemed by fools as an endorsement of Trump rather than respect for the office first held by George Washington. Instead, the women have accepted an invite to celebrate their accomplishment with rapper Flavor Flav in Vegas with a reported free ride from Alaska Airlines. Apparently, these female athletes favor Mr. Flav over the White House, despite a bio that shows him to exhibit the courage to follow through on his women-degrading lyrics. Here goes. The former ticket scalper, writes Phil Mushnick, spent 9 weeks in Rikers Island for driving on a suspended license, unpaid parking tickets, and being late to probation hearings. In 1991, he pleaded guilty to assaulting his girlfriend. Spent 30 more days in jail and lost custody of his children. Oh, children. He has an unknown number, at least 8, by at least 4 women. In 1993, he was charged with attempted murder and jailed 90 days for shooting at his neighbor. That same year, he was again charged with domestic violence, to which he pleaded guilty, and to possession of cocaine. He entered the Betty Ford Center for treatment of his crack addiction, which he estimated to be $2,600 a day. In 2021, he was again arrested for domestic battery, but that charge was dropped when he pleaded no contest to a lesser charge. In 2012, Flav pleaded guilty to 2 misdemeanors stemming from threats to his girlfriend and her teenage son, who he threatened to stab. This is unbelievable. I'm going to keep reading this, but he has been arrested on outstanding warrants and or for driving without a license and insurance to the tune of 16 driving suspensions. He has been arrested for DWI speeding too. He was even nailed, no fooling, for speeding en route to his mother's funeral on Long Island in 2014, later pleading guilty to unlicensed aggravated operation of a motor vehicle. So when you read Flav's unprintably vulgar, boastful, end-laced, women-trashing, but Super Bowl Roger Goodell-eligible lyrics, we know Flav has the courage of his musical convictions. Though none of the above bio found its way in the mainstream news media updates on Flava Flav's invite. Nope. Some facts about some people be damned. This is apparently who the women's victorious U.S. team chooses to represent and celebrate their achievement. By the way, if Flav performs one of his hits at this bash, will the lyrics be posted so the women's team and live audience can rap along? USA. USA. Again, what is going on with the sports world here? What's going on with athletes? What is going on in our society? Seriously. By the way, on the text line at 916-779-0929, that's 779-0929, from the 530, agree it's not good. I didn't say it was good or not good. Agree it's not good. Keep it respectful. Set a better example. Another one. Don't like it. What do you think? 916-779-0929. How do you feel about that? All right. Another one said, that is the thinking that got the cheerleaders fired. No problem. Do not understand this appeal to women. Worse than Flav are psychiatrists. Grant, I'm surprised you were wasting your time talking about these degenerates. I was hoping you ripped Westbrook for his leadership against the Lakers. I am going to get to that in a couple of moments, but I'm so tired. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm so tired of talking about the same dysfunction with the Sacramento Kings that, like, I got to give myself a break just for a couple of minutes. Because after my show on Friday, where I did a 15-minute tirade and I had an individual on the text line worried about my health, I'm like, my health's fine. Don't worry about me. I'm like, I better come in on Monday and I better not mention Russell Westbrook's name in the opening segment. Well, that's too late because I just got somebody on our YouTube page on Fox Sports Sacramento saying that, well, when are you going to talk about that? Here's someone. I'll be there that night in Atlanta on the 16th. Got my tickets already 3 days ago. Are you going for the game or are you going because of the promotion? So I'm going to ask you again, okay? What is going on? Seriously. What is going on? And I'm going to keep it to the sports world because Lord knows, right? I mean, I'm going to stay on the path here. I'm keeping it to sports and the connection to sports. So Luke Cornett of the Spurs is the only player, only one, in the NBA to come out and says that he has a problem with the promotion for the Atlanta Hawks game on March 16th. Now, here's my question. How many other players also feel the way Luke does but are too afraid to speak out because they'll be ridiculed by those that think they're crazy for having this feeling. Then the U.S. women's hockey team. I don't even know where to go from there. It was such a great accomplishment. And then we get caught up on the president, making a joke. And then it's just like, Charles Barkley said it best. Can everyone just chill out, please? Can everyone just chill out and relax? It's just unbelievable to me. There are so many mountains made out of molehills today. There really are. I talked about the columnist in the Toronto Star, right? Ripping the captain of the Maple Leafs, Austin Matthews, because he went to the White House, an American hockey player who was on Team USA, and he got ripped by this columnist saying that as the captain of the Maple Leafs, he should know better, and he shouldn't have done that. Incredible. All right, from the 530, I think it's clearly inappropriate for a strip club night at an NBA game, especially with children in the crowd. The commissioner should put a stop to it, but we know he's a weak person. Yeah, you can pull your game out of your all-star game out of Charlotte, North Carolina over a bathroom bill, but no problem. You can go play your games in the preseason over in the United Arab Emirates in Abu Dhabi, where we know about the culture and the beliefs and the laws as it relates to the LGBT community, right? LGBTQ community, correct? And the gay community. We know about that in the United Arab Emirates, right? I don't have to get into that with you. I think you understand. So you have the commissioner pulling the NBA All-Star game out of Charlotte, North Carolina over a bathroom bill, a gender-based bathroom bill. But no problem. We'll go play in the UAE. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Grant, it seems the elites in our society have a vested interest in the degrading of our society. Good for Cornette on speaking out. So, again, I'm going to ask the question, if this were to go on in Sacramento, how would you feel about it? And here's something else. If this ends up being a successful promotion in Atlanta on the 16th, 2 weeks from tonight, then what? Are we going to see it in New York? Are they going to start promoting the clubs in New York? Have a night for scores? Are we going to have a night if there's an NBA team or summer league in Vegas? Have you ever gone out to Vegas at night and seen some of their clubs? I mean, what's next? And again, the owner of the Atlanta Hawks makes a 5-part docuseries on Stars. He's the one that produced it on Magic City. Duh. Gee, this isn't self-serving, is it? Again, you just can't make this stuff up. And I'm telling you, again, it is the sports world turned upside down on its head. It's gone wacko. Wacko. It really has. Maybe the DJ should play culturally offensive hip-hop music at the Atlanta venue like the DJ played at King's pregame entertainment several home games ago. Don't get me started on that, please, because then I'm going to have to duplicate what I did on Monday. I complained about that in the preseason. I was about the only one that complained about that. And I was surprised because I couldn't believe what I was listening to. And I talked about it on this radio show because I couldn't believe it. And trust me, I'm not like, I've been around the block a couple times. But, I mean, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. We'll talk more about this. I want to know, would you have a problem if that were the case in Sacramento where Sacramento, I don't even know what Sacramento's version of Magic City would be, but assuming that was in Sacramento, would you have a problem with it if the Kings had a night to promote that? Let me know. 916-779-0929. Wednesday, Bennett's, Roseville. I'll be doing the show out there from 3 to 6. That's Bennett's, 3 to 6. Roseville, Wednesday. Kevin Harlan tomorrow. First hour of the show right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Are you or do you know a veteran or a family in need of a heating or air conditioning unit? If so, go now to dasmechanical.org and nominate yourself or someone you know to receive one with installation being donated by our neighbors at DAS Mechanical. We all know this past year has been tough for some in our community. Nick Delancey and his DAS family want to give back, and they're excited to give back, just like this, to help out a veteran or family in need. It's very simple to enter. Go to dasmechanical.org, click the 2026 HVAC System Donation tab, and fill out a very short 6-question nomination form. That's dasmechanical.org. Click the 2026 HVAC System Donation tab and fill out the short form. DAS Mechanical, family owned and proudly serving our community for years. Nominate now at dasmechanical.org. That's dasmechanical.org.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Homeowners, for any electrical project you need done, trust the good dudes at Gabroods. Locally owned, 5-star service experts, always transparent prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Call Gabroods or visit Gabroods.com. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
There's a great American pastime that the entire family can enjoy together, located right outside of Sacramento. The Golden State Shooting Center welcomes you. The Golden State Shooting Center is an 80-acre clay target shooting facility. It's the home of numerous youth sport shooting teams from the region. Over 1,000 high school students from Northern California are on sports shooting teams, and 10 of the Western United States' top shooting teams train at Golden State Shooting Center. New members are being accepted now. For details, visit goldenstateshootingcenter.com.
I'm retired and worried about the cost of food, medicine, and rent. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to an extra $1,000 a month. Best of all, it's free. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
Back with you here on Fox Sports Sacramento. 916-779-0929. Hope you're having a good afternoon. Let's open up the phone lines and let's get to Mac. Mac, welcome to the program on this Monday. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I just wanted to answer your question. Look, I do understand that teams, they promote vices such as, adult beverages, and I understand that there's a free market, and so they have every right to promote certain things at clubs or whatever. But I do have to say, like, if I had my little boy and I saw a promotion on the schedule, I would be hesitant just as a parent, because sometimes you when you put yourself in a situation, you don't want to put yourself in a situation that might be not a positive one. I would be hesitant to take my son to that particular game. But just on promotions themselves, my thoughts on promotions, I grew up, my parents had season tickets to the 49ers in the mid-90s and all the way through the 2000s. And one thing I can take away from that is the 49ers didn't need promotions. They had Jerry Rice to promote their team. They had Steve Young.
Yeah, but we didn't live in a woke society back then, so you didn't have to have promotions because there wasn't a woke society. You didn't have to have a night for this group, for that group, for this movement, for that movement, for this movement. You didn't have people, backing you into a corner saying you need to promote my group or I'm going to attack you on social media. That didn't happen. That wasn't a woke society. We're now in a woke society. Let me tell you something. I talked about, and I'm glad you brought that up. a couple of years ago, wasn't that long ago, actually. I talked about this on my YouTube podcast. I talked to two different owners of two different leagues that I know in professional sports. They said promotions are good because it sells more tickets. And if you have an inadequate team or a team that is so-so and the attendance is so-so, the promotions are good because it gets more people to come out because they don't really care why you come out to the game. They just want you to buy tickets and spend money at their venues. Both owners told me the same thing. They both told me that they would not have any promotions at all to celebrate anything to do with Pride Month, with the Chinese New Year, Asian, everything. Because, the NBA does everything. They just had Black History Month for the whole month, blah, blah, blah. These owners told me that's not why they got into sports and bought the teams. And then what happens is when they have a night, a Pride night, and when they have this night and that night, then you get the group down the block that says, hey, you know what? This is what we believe in. This is very important to us. We need to have a night. And then all of a sudden you're in a no-win situation because you almost have to allow everyone to have their night. That's not what sports is about, okay? That's not why, I don't know about you, Mac, I don't go to games because of promotions such as Magic City in Atlanta. Like, I would never base going to a game on a promotion. That's just me, but I wouldn't.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm just saying I wouldn't go to Magic Night with my boy, if that makes sense, with my toddler. I just wouldn't do that. But my point is like, for example, the Niners teams at that time, they were so good that they didn't need promotions. That's kind of what you were saying.
Yeah, no, I understand. But again, you can't compare it to that era because that era was not on social media. There wasn't. Social media creates 95% of this.
Right. So that's all I kind of wanted to say is like I feel like good teams like or great franchises, they don't need to do. I think it's gimmicky promotions of sort. But and if you have a brand and a great product, you don't need to do gimmicks.
Well, this is clearly a conflict of interest. You have the owner of the Hawks who produced a 5-part docuseries on Magic City, and they're having this at the game. It's a conflict of interest. It's stupid.
I agree. Anyway, I hope you have a good afternoon and take it easy.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Bye-bye.
But again, I mean, you think these owners really want to have all of these different types of groups and create? Look at what happened to the Dodgers on Pride Night when Clayton Kershaw came out, and look at the mess that created. That's nothing but a problem for teams. They don't want problems. That's why Gary Bettman put his foot down, and I applaud Gary Bettman. And I don't, just for the record, to be transparent, I don't care what your sexual orientation is. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Be happy, okay? Be happy. I don't care. But Gary Bettman said no more will our hockey players wear jerseys during warm-ups that promote a certain cause for the sake of political correctness and selling them for marketing purposes. So that's not going to happen anymore.
Grant, is it really a conflict of interest, though? Because you own a basketball team, you're promoting your product, you're asking people to come pay money to see your product. How is that any different than putting out a film and having a night about it? It's two in the same to a degree.
It's a conflict of interest because look at all the publicity that Magic City's getting, which means more people might want to watch the docuseries on Stars that he produced. So that means that he makes money with more people watching it and subscribing to Stars. That's a conflict of interest, in my opinion.
But using the basketball team that you own to promote the film, I guess I don't see that clear conflict, right? It's not like cut and dry, per se, to me.
All right, so if the Cleveland Browns owner owns 50 massage shops in the Cleveland area, do you think it would be appropriate to promote, have a night just based on what Deshaun Watson went through and everything? Again, don't you have to draw the line somewhere?
Well, yeah,
and by the
okay.
way, I'm not insinuating that massage shops are all bad. I mean, because we know that most of them are really, really, professional, blah, blah, blah. That's not the point I'm trying to make. But I'm talking about the optics of this. How are the optics for an NBA team promoting a strip club?
Okay, how is it different? Okay, that's two separate things. I'm strictly talking about the conflict of interest. Vivek promoting basketball in India and having cultural nights surrounding that because of his descent, that would be one and the same of this conflict of interest. And I think that's the problem that I'm having. Now, if you want to talk about promoting strip clubs, promoting massage shops, yes, I'm with you there. There is a line in the sand, but I don't know that I see the conflict of interest because it's a business venture.
I think it's a clear conflict of interest. You and I are on different sides of the fence here, which I like because then we can get other people involved. But I think it's a huge conflict of interest because there's 30 teams in the NBA. There's no other city in America that has had a night to promote a strip club at their professional sporting event. So you might ask yourself, well, why are the Atlanta Hawks, of all of the 4 sports leagues in America, why are they doing this? Well, I'll tell you why they're doing this. Because the owner produced a 5-part docuseries on Magic City, and he's trying to promote the club and promote the docuseries, which is inappropriate to promote it during a NBA basketball game.
See, but that's my point. It's the strip club part of it. It's not so much the promotion part. The NBA has docuseries that they run with the starting 5, for instance. Players can promote that. How is that not a conflict of interest? It's just, I think it's the actual substance of what they're promoting in this case.
All right, fair enough. 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. Let's get to Bill in Citrus Heights. Hi, Bill.
Hey, Grant. Just want to mention, you mentioned Jamie Gertz.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about the hypocrisy. Jamie Gertz was a famous Hollywood actress. I wonder if she was part of the Me Too movement during that era. And now she's promoting this sort of thing that's going on, not only at the Atlanta Hawks, but making this movie seems kind of strange. This is a reason you don't pay attention to, sports figures in general, and I'm talking in general. Don't listen to about what they recommend for culture. It's just like you talk about with the NFL and racism. Love is it. That's you don't care. These are not smart people. These are not moral people. These are not wise people. These are people who are just in it for the money. And they're hypocrites. And I'm just curious about Jamie. Is Jamie Gertz, who is the Hollywood actress, former Hollywood actress. And I think that it'd be interesting to know.
Well, I'm trying to keep it to sports. Yeah, thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. I'm trying to keep it to sports. Speaking of sports, in the next segment, I am going to talk about the good news of the Sacramento Kings last night, the real positives. There were 2 things that really stood out to me that I'm going to talk about in the next segment. One was Nick Clifford, and I was thrilled to see that Russell Westbrook was able to get up his 16 shots in just 22 minutes of play, which, by the way, if you're keeping score at home, other than Clifford, who, by the way, played twice as many minutes as Westbrook, who took 18. So Nick took 18 shots in 42 minutes, made 11 of them. Russ took 16. Oh, yeah, and his great three-point shooting this year was just stellar again, where he missed 6 of 7 from beyond the arc. So we'll talk about that when we come back. But you have something that you want to talk to us about. You're going to be talking about Prize Picks every day. What's that all about? Educate.
Yeah, I'm super excited to announce our partnership with Prize Picks. If you don't know about them, you should. In fact, I'm on there. Come join and play with me. My screen handle is Rhino in Sacktown, but come shoot your shot with us. You can get a free $50 deposit upon your first $5 or free $50 back upon your first $5 deposit by using the promo code Rhino50. Rhino50. Prize Picks is the largest daily fantasy site in the country. Super simple. All you do is pick 2 to 6 players, choose more or less, and watch your lineups light up the sky. Like I said, we can talk about it on the show. You can fade me. Also, if your lineups are going good, you have the option to cash out early. And as a user, I know it's super easy to cash out when you get your winnings. So come check us out. Use the code Rhino50 when you sign up. That will get you $50 in free play after your first $50. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Kings, a lot of home games coming up. We'll talk about last night, and we'll look forward. That's next here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
We all want to look and feel our best. Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to live your best life every day. There are simple, practical, and inexpensive changes that you can make in your life today that will elevate your life in so many incredible ways. If it feels like it's time to hit that reset button and start living your best life now, Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to schedule a free healthy aging consultation with Dr. Dennis Godby, an accomplished author and expert in the art of aging gracefully. As we age, things change. We might start to experience lower energy, changes in mood, brain fog, or just a lack of motivation. And for guys, the onset of middle age can mean a lower libido and oftentimes ED. These things can usually be safely and easily treated. Visit gettingbetternow.com today and schedule your free healthy aging consultation with Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center, located in Midtown.
Are you SAC Alert? Have you signed up to receive emergency alerts via phone, text, email, or app? Well, what are you waiting for? Winter is coming, and that means there is potential for storms and flooding in our county. Don't get caught off guard or left in the cold. Get urgent storm evacuation and shelter information immediately sent directly to your device. Sign up today at sacramento-alert.org. Again, that's sacramento-alert.org. It's free, quick, and easy to do, and can literally be a lifesaver.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Downtown Ford Sacramento welcomes you. With literally acres of new and Ford certified pre-owned vehicles on site, you can start planning a road trip up into the snow now because Downtown Ford has the vehicles to get you there. And our top-notch service team will keep it running perfectly as long as you own it. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and fleet vehicles. Downtown Ford Sacramento. Open daily on Howe Avenue next to the How About Arden Shopping Center.
Remember, always be generous with the nutmeg. Just eyeball it.
Okay.
Mom's wisdom has served you well, but now it may be your turn to guide her.
Hey, I'm worried about Mom. She keeps forgetting her famous sweet potato pie recipe.
Some things come with age, sis.
And some don't.
Knowing the early signs of Alzheimer's in a loved one will help you make the best decisions for your family. Visit 10signs.org to learn the signs. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Last night, the Lakers doubled up the Kings in score in the first quarter, 36-18. They cruised, absolutely cruised, to a 128-104 victory. Nate Clifford, I thought, had his best game. I think the games against Cleveland and then last night are his two signature games this year. He's had a couple of other good games, but he's had too many inconsistent games. But, if you could end this season and you look at the Kings' record right now with 20 games left, if you could feel really good about the direction of Clifford going into the offseason, Ryan, that would be really big for this franchise.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we want to see down the stretch. I think you're seeing Doug Christie and the coaching staff giving him the opportunity to have the ball in his hands a little bit more. And the confidence last night, make or miss, looked a little bit better, Napes.
Yeah, he did have only 4 assists and 3 turnovers. Part of the problem with getting assists is you have to have your teammates make shots when you're throwing the ball. That would not be the case of Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, listen to this. Russell Westbrook has attempted 341 threes this year. Attempted. What do you think Malik Monk's attempted?
Oh, my gosh. A lot less than that.
243. And coming into this game, the Lakers, one team, if you look at them, their big struggle, Grant, defense. What do you want to do? Make them work on that side of the ball. Yep. Instead, Russ just kept doing what you pointed out, never pushes it up, and really dominated that ball, which is why the Kings got out to a very slow start.
I don't know if you're aware of this, and maybe you are or maybe you're not. And if you're not, I'm going to educate you when you talk about Malik Monk. I have found that it is very difficult to make three-point shots when you're not in the game. That's my opinion. I think it's very difficult to get into the scoring ledger and do it a lot when you're sitting on the bench. And I think it's even more difficult when you have DNPs at some point during the season for an inexplicable reason. I've never seen, and I mean this, I shouldn't say never. That's a little too strong. I have rarely seen a coach mismanage a player like Malik Monk. It is the most absurd, ridiculous. I mean, unless you want to put him neck and neck with Keon Ellis. You see Keon played 31 minutes last night?
Yeah.
31 minutes.
Yeah.
Second most minutes on the team. He's not good enough to play for Sacramento, but he can go play 31 minutes for the Cleveland Cavaliers, who, by the way, are playing very well.
It was really interesting because anytime we asked Keon when he was here, especially before he had his DNPs early in the season about his contract, he would say, well, I'm not worried about it. It'll get worked out. He was asked last night, and he goes, I think it'd work out really good for both sides. He's enjoying his time in Cleveland. But to your point, I think we can clearly look back on that time that Malik was not playing and say that was the Kings showcasing Keon Ellis. That is why they did that, because that timeline runs concurrently perfect to them asking for a first-round pick and not really getting one.
Maybe.
For Keon.
Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I think personally, based on the last few seasons, you already knew what you needed to know about Keon Ellis, but you might be right. You might be.
I think teams knew that he could play and he fits, but the Kings really wanted to get that first round pick. They didn't want him to be a sweetener on a deal, which he ended up being.
Yep, exactly what he ended up being. So again, 128-104, Phoenix in town tomorrow for the atrocious 8:00 start time.
Ugh.
That's not going to help out attendance. Maybe if you have a strip club to promote, maybe you get more people in there. I don't know.
But see, I told you this during the break. With all that Atlanta's doing and the WNBA lockout and Adam Silver and the WNBA players trying to level their game with the men, like, how does Adam Silver let this fly? It's just very hard to understand. And the poor season ticket holders, you've already bought tickets to that event before it's even started, before it's even been promoted. But tomorrow, go ahead.
No, please. I want to add something about the WNBA.
Yeah, I was going to say, but tomorrow will be interesting. Those 8:00 games are difficult on everybody, including the players.
The WNBA should forget that the NBA exists. They should never compare themselves to the NBA in any way, shape, or form, other than they play on the same size court with a basketball. Other than that, there should be no talk of what the NBA has and what they don't have. It's irrelevant.
Well,
it doesn't make sense.
Okay, so then why is Adam Silver taking questions at All-Star break about the CBA and him needing to step in? You know, there's not that clear delineation, that separation of powers between the two leagues.
There's a very simple reason, because the league is a woke league. They do things that are politically correct as opposed to politically incorrect. And Adam Silver is like a little scaredy cat in the corner, and he's afraid to run the league the way it should be run. That's why. That's exactly why.
Can't disagree.
That's exactly why. And listen, I'm not anti-WNBA. I'm just telling you that I don't watch it anymore because that league turned me off with everything being black versus white and white versus black, and it turned me off. And as a sports fan, I don't want that. So when I watch women, I was watching a women's game yesterday along with the Indiana-Michigan State college game, and there was a TV right next to it with a women's college game on.
Yeah.
I was watching a lot of the women's game. I don't have anything against women's college basketball. I like it. I think it's a much better game than the WNBA. I have trouble watching the WNBA when I used to watch it the most recent time, 3-4 years ago. Now, I don't want it. If you're not going to know how to run your league, if you're going to have false expectations, if you're going to make everything about the color of your skin, okay, and the jealousy, and you don't know how to maximize the benefits that an individual can bring into your league, like the PGA Tour did with Tiger Woods. Think about what Tiger Woods did for the PGA Tour.
Yeah, but the WNBA, or I should say the PGA, had players like Tiger Woods before.
Name me one.
History. Arnold Palmer.
Okay, but Tiger Woods and Arnold Palmer, different generations.
Right.
Social media coming into the forefront. His ethnicity. All right.
Fair.
How many? All right. So I'm going to tell you something that I experienced when Tiger Woods was an amateur and everyone knew about him before he turned pro. There was a huge, and I mean huge, increase in NBA players learning how to play golf.
Wow.
And it was all because of Tiger Woods. Bobby Jackson's a great example of that. I was with Bobby the day he went out and swung a club for the first time at Granite Bay, and he couldn't even literally hit the ball at times. He would swing and miss. And Bobby now plays a tremendous game and hits the ball 300 yards off the tee. Bobby got addicted to it, and that happened with so many other black players in the NBA. Not Caucasian players, black players in the NBA. I witnessed it.
Mm-hmm.
NBA locker rooms went from never talking about golf, never watching golf, to now, when's our day off? Let's get a tee time so we can go out and golf. Tiger Woods was instrumental in that. He changed golf in this country. Made it unbelievably popular in this country. Courses going up everywhere. The demand for golf in America during Tiger Woods' run at the PGA Tour was unprecedented. We've never seen that before.
No.
He's responsible for that.
Yeah, I can't argue with any of that. He absolutely is. And golf's one of those sports, Grant, where there's a barrier to entry. There's a few of those. Football, if you're going to play tackle football, is one. Yep. Hockey is one. Lacrosse, you can't just pick up a ball and go and do it, right?
Yep.
And so I'm glad that the players got into it. I guess my overall point is the WNBA has had a couple of stars here and there under different commissioners,
yes,
but Caitlin Clark was a whole different animal.
Yep.
And they could not have mismanaged it anymore, just strictly from a basketball sense. And I know for me, when I tune into a sport, I don't want to see the drama. I don't want to see people arguing or the players arguing with the league, with the refs, vice versa. And that's all you get a lot of times with the WNBA.
I don't want it. It's off my calendar. When I want women's basketball, I'll watch college. All right, back to the Kings. So Russell Westbrook played 22 minutes last night. And it's just, I'm so tired of talking about this because I have been talking about this from the very first day, the very first week of the season when they signed Russell Westbrook. I've been very consistent. I said it made no sense. It's stupid. And here we are in a new month, and he's playing 22 minutes, which is a lot better than what he played for most of the season.
Yeah.
And he's taking 16 shots. How many times have we come on talking about taking a shot per minute?
His decision-making outside of the times when he spots a quick advantage or it's end-of-shot clock situations is very slow. He wants guys to be in the perfect spot instead of getting the ball filtering. I am noticing a shift in the fan base where the fan base appreciates Russ, but they're realizing that he is holding back what should be happening
Of course.
to a degree here in Sacramento.
Of course.
And now with this chunk of games coming up at G1C, this fan base this year has not been hesitant to let Doug Christie know who they want and who they don't want on the court. And the last thing you want is Russ to come up against the Phoenix Suns.
Well, they don't want to hurt his feelings.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I was going to get at. This has to be the game. Neek has shown enough. Devin Carter, to me, has shown enough that you start. To me, the starting lineup should be Devin, DeMar, Neek, Precious, and Max. And I think almost every single Kings fan would be completely fine with that. In fact, I bet they would ask for it as well.
Your coach would not be able to sleep at night. He would have nightmares if he didn't play Russell Westbrook. He'd have convulsions. I think that's why he takes the smelling salts on the sideline.
Okay, but Grant, you know Doug Christie better than anybody.
Yes,
the
I
way
do.
that Russell Westbrook is playing the basketball game fundamentally goes against everything that Doug Christie believes in as a basketball player. He believes in ball movement, cohesion.
Yeah. By the way, Devin Booker may be back tomorrow. He's trending that way. It's either going to be tomorrow or the game Thursday against the Bulls. If I'm Devin Booker, I'm coming back tomorrow because, I might be able to score 100 points.
A get-right game?
Yeah. We know Dylan Brooks is out with the 4 to 6 weeks, but obviously the Kings have a lot of guys that are out. We do know that. So we'll see when the latest injury report comes out. Remember, that is an 8 o'clock start time tomorrow. An 8 o'clock time tomorrow. Wow. So, what do you think? We've talked about a lot of things in this first hour. Right? We talked about a lot of things. Do you think that Russell Westbrook should not start anymore? I think he shouldn't start. Rhino thinks he doesn't start. What do you think? What do you think, fans? I think I know what the fans want. I think they want exactly what you laid out there. I really do, Ryan. I think that if you took a poll, the majority of fans would say, yes, that's what I want.
And it's not just because you saw that unit play one time very well for most of a game. It's because that's the unit minus Carter that has usually brought the Kings back throughout the season in their 14 wins.
All right. Again, if you want to get in on the program, 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. What do you think out of all these games in the month of March? What do you think? Like, seriously, what are you thinking here? Are we going to see Russell Westbrook still play in the mid-20s and sometimes more than that? Where are you with this? Because you're running out of games. I really don't understand it. 20 games left. What are you going to do here? How many games are we going to go with Russell Westbrook still starting? And listen, I'm speaking for Ryan here, for those of you that may be new to the show. We're not anti-Russell Westbrook. We're not, I respect him. Ryan respects him. I appreciate how hard he plays, even though at times it's playing hard poorly, but his compete level is great, poorly and everything else. You know what I mean, Ryan? It just drives me crazy.
He just can't help himself when he sees a matchup that's in his favor. He thinks he's going to get the better end of it most times, or he's going to create a better opportunity for his teammate. And unfortunately, with a team like this that doesn't have a ton or a singular guy that is the guy, like a Wemby, whatever, they all need to be involved together. And Russ has been empowered to be that guy by some of the reports you hear about the organization loving him. And again, you laid it out perfect. I love him too as a person. I like what he does in the locker room. Class act, compete is there. But 16 shots in 22 minutes is going to sink the style of this basketball team. And the only thing, Grant, you want coming out of these final 20 games is what you just said. Being able to go into the summer and say, all right, I see something with Neek and Matt. Yep. So we want to see a little cohesion from the pieces that are on the books next year. Russ is not one of them.
Let's talk about it. 916-779-0929. Where are you at on this, Kings fans? Have we seen enough of Russell Westbrook with 20 games left? Is it just time to go Malik Monk on him or Keon Ellis and just not play him? Seriously, just say, hey, I'm sorry. We're only going to play you when we're short on men. Thank you very much. You've done whatever we asked you to do, but you're going to be playing very little. And then you got Plowden and, others. We didn't even talk about them.
And those that say the NBA is going to accuse the Kings of tanking, they won't.
No.
Because the product will be better.
Right. I'm with you on that. I think you're spot on. 1 hour in the books. Don't forget Kevin Harlan tomorrow at 3:05. Sean Salisbury tomorrow. Kevin Nagel, the owner of the Sacramento Republic, the managing general partner, on Thursday's show right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrud's.com.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their family. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabrud's. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrud and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans, to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrud's does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabrud's, expert 5-star service and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabrud's.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabrud's, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's. G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrud's.com.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash. Fantastic. Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
The voice of Sacramento sports is back.
Hear Grant Napear every weekday beginning at 3 right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
Hour number 2 right here on Fox Sports Sacramento, 916-779-0929. We got phone calls to get to, and I say hello to Andre in Folsom. Hello, Andre. Welcome.
Hey, Grant. I want to talk about some Kings. So basically, I feel good about Nick Clifford now because he's put together like 4 games in a row, a stretch of 4 games where he shows he could shoot the ball consistently.
I don't agree with that. I don't think it's been 4 games in a row, but I do like where he's heading. I think he's trending in the right direction.
Yeah, do you think he could be like a playmaker, more of a future where obviously before the season started, we thought he could be a point guard role, but it'll take time, obviously.
Sorry, I don't think he's a point guard. I don't think he's fast enough to be a point guard. I don't think he's quick enough to be a point guard in the NBA. Ryan makes a great point. He does see the floor very well. He's got excellent court vision. And because of his size, he might be able to throw over the top of some smaller defenders. But in terms of foot speed, lateral quickness, I don't think I'm not sold on him playing point guard in the NBA, to be honest with you. That's just me.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. But speaking of Russell Westbrook, it doesn't look like Kings are going to like do anything to stop cutting his minutes because like I found a report, I don't know if it's true, but it says how Kings can possibly bring Russell Westbrook back for next season and on a veteran deal because they like him as a mentor.
Well, if you want a mentor, go out and hire, an individual to work for your team that's retired and have them mentor them. You don't want to take a roster spot up. The mentoring is way overblown, in my opinion. It's way overblown. I've been around many, many sports teams, and I think that when you have a DeMar DeRozan on your team and a Domantas Sabonis on your team and a player like Doug Christie who coached, a coach like Doug Christie who played in an era, or Bobby Jackson, like there are enough mentors around. To use Russell Westbrook as an excuse because you need a mentor is a bunch of garbage, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. But do you think Kings need to either move Hunter or DeRozan? Because I don't see any way it's possible where Levine, Hunter, or DeRozan are all 3 of them are on a roster next year. Just they don't fit together.
No, everybody knows that. Levine's kind of stuck if he opts in, which he probably will at, basically by and large $50 million a year. I can't see any way in the world DeMar DeRozan's here. I really can't. Thank you, Andre. Appreciate the phone call. Let's get to Ralph in Anaheim. What's going on in Anaheim, Ralph?
Hey, Grant, sunny and it's looking up and everything. We had that rain last week, but hey, it was the first time in a while I watched the full game. It's been a rough season, as you know, but watching a game from start to finish, I listen to you guys more.
Yeah.
But with Russell Westbrook, they have to go to Monk or go to the young guy movement. We've seen enough. I mean, if you want to say he's leading the tank, then he's leading the tank. But as far as development and this crucial time of these 20 games, we got to play the young guys and just either bring off the bench or just stop playing him. I mean, would you guys agree with that logic?
Listen, we've been talking, Ryan, how often have we been talking about this?
At least 25 games.
Yep.
At least.
Yep. I mean, we do a post-game show after every game, or most every game. We didn't do it last night because of reasons that were out of our control. But we've been talking about this with Jerry Reynolds for months, not weeks, months.
Yeah, and that's where I wonder is how much is, maybe it's a little bit of both, where Russell Westbrook just has to take the shot because of that's what the coaches are telling him, or how much is it is really him? He's taking these many 3-pointers, and because he's being left wide open, and it's a
because there's no coaching going on. There's no coaching going on. There's no one's coaching Russell Westbrook. There's no come sit next to me for a while. That's not the way we want to play. It's like everything. It's exactly what's going on. That's it in a nutshell. It's like There's no coaching. There's no like, you know what? You're not playing what I'm preaching as a head coach. Come over here and sit down next to me. And when you decide that this is how you want to play, then we'll put you on. No, there is none of that. They just let him do whatever he wants.
And, speaking of coaching, and this is more on the development, we talked about Keon Ellis, and, he's starting now with the Celtics, Demi Escada. And, I follow college basketball a lot with my alma mater being the Mountain West. I saw a lot of the makings of what he was before, but when he was with the Kings and when he was with Utah State, he had really terrible feet. His hands were hard, and even you saw this even when he was with the Kings in the summer league team. So I get to see where he is at now. Like, why aren't the Kings able to do that? We saw that a little bit with Keon Ellis, but then also develop more guys that we're drafting, like Dylan Cardwell, but then retain them. That's the issue, right?
Davion Mitchell.
We are able to occasionally, right? Davion Mitchell, rarely able to develop these guys. They're gone, right?
Well, you know what's amazing? I was watching, I don't know who said this the other night when I was watching a game. The Kings in the last few years have had 3 point guards that are not on their roster anymore that all start for other teams. Davion Mitchell in Miami, Tyrese Halliburton in Indiana, and De'Aaron Fox with San Antonio. But yet the Kings moved all of them. And here we are in 2026 after watching the failed signing of Dennis Schroeder. And the biggest need going into this offseason is a point guard for the Sacramento Kings. It's like a broken record. That's what we said last year.
Which is funny because we've missed some generational picks with our draft.
Yep.
But when we have hit, we're not getting the value that we're supposed to get out of them.
Hey, listen, I
hope that changes.
In all fairness, you got Domantas Sabonis for Halliburton. Now, if you could go back in time, would you make that deal? You probably wouldn't make that deal. But it's not like you got chopped liver. You got a guy that was a 3-time All-Star. He should have been an All-Star the last 2 years. He got screwed the last 2 years. He's a legitimate, big-time NBA player. So it's not like you didn't get anything back for Halliburton and Hield. You did. Sabonis is a very, very good player. But still.
No, I'll stand by that, too.
Yeah.
I'll stand by us breaking that record. Of course,
yes,
we have seen Tyrese Halliburton become an MVP. I say in my opinion, some of the blunders where, as much as we trashed on Harrison Barnes, letting him go.
Yep.
I think trying to get Siakam would have been a perfect fit.
Yep.
He would have helped to play alongside Sabonis. We had a lot of maybe deals that were halfway done. Yes, I would have rather kept Halliburton, but since we broke the streak, getting Siakam, keeping Barnes. He was a lot more valuable than we thought. He was easy to trash when he had him, but now that he's gone, look at how he is for the Spurs, even in a limited role.
Hey, Ralph, this sounds like San Diego State basketball IQ.
I've watched too much hoops, so I see what the San Diego State Aztec basketball could look like with Brian Dutcher and Steve Fisher, and I see the complete opposite. Consistency versus inconsistency all the time.
Are you an Aztec, my brother?
Yeah.
Knew it.
My
Good
team,
job,
my
Ralph.
daughter,
Knew it.
All right, I'll take it off there. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Taking over the show.
Taking
over my show.
Hey,
you
I'm
got the
sorry.
Aztecs taking over my show.
I'm just saying, when you start hearing it, it gets into your soul. That's an Aztec.
What is an Aztec?
It's you're just one of them.
Oh.
You're just one of them. You've seen really good, solid basketball.
Okay. I got you. All
yes. Good job, Ralph.
Okay. I mean, I know what a Falcon is where I went to college. I know what a Falcon is.
Well, an Aztec is a warrior, correct?
I don't have any idea.
Yeah. Aztec warriors. Yeah. It's a warrior.
Yeah. So anyway, the Suns tomorrow, we don't know about Devin Booker yet. He may play, may not. I would think you'd want Devin Booker. Phoenix needs to get some wins here with all the injuries that they have. They've been snake bit here. No one's been more snake bit than the Kings. But when you look at the standings right now in the NBA in the West, okay, you know who the 10 teams are going to be. That much is decided because Portland, well, I shouldn't say that. I think we know who the 10 teams are. Portland's 29-33, and Memphis is 23-36. That's a big difference. 6 wins and 3 fewer losses. That's a big difference. So I'm gonna say we know who the 10 teams are. Phoenix still has a chance, Ryan, to get into the top 6. They're 2 games behind the Lakers. They're in 7th. They got a nice cushion over the 8th place Warriors. But as we know, there's a huge difference between being 6th or 7th.
Sure. Massive difference. You got to go through the process.
Yep.
You're not actually in the dance.
Yep.
So are you comfortable saying that the top 5, do you have a top 5 locked in? Or do you think
in the West?
In the West, or do you think the top 5 are up for grabs?
No, I don't have a top 5 locked in. I have a top 4 locked in. I don't have a top 5.
Okay.
I am not putting Minnesota in the same category as OKC, San Antonio, Denver, or Houston.
Agree. 100%.
So that's my first group. And then after that, and by the way, I'm going to go Oklahoma City 1. I'm going to go San Antonio 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm going Denver 3, and I'm going Houston 4. I'm not crazy about Houston. I'm not crazy about them. I think that they're very vulnerable in areas. And I think when Denver's healthy and the playoffs start, they're going to be a very difficult out. Very difficult.
I think losing Dylan Brooks has actually really hurt Houston. He brought some of that Ime Udoka kind of toughness, physicality. Not saying that they don't have a little bit of it, but they're vulnerable. They can be pushed around. I'm with you there. Somehow Minnesota.
I called that. Listen, I've been wrong a lot, but I called that the day I said I think Phoenix is going to be a lot better.
Yep.
And Houston won't be as good. Houston was the number 2 seed last year.
Yeah, that's right. And look at what Phoenix has done. They just finally said, Devin, we've never let you run the show. We're not going to try to surround you with people. We're going to now surround you with the right role players, and it's worked out so well. And they look like they're having a heck of a time playing basketball. The Lakers, for me, are the tricky ones.
Yes.
They do not look like a very good
They
basketball
don't even look like
team.
they want to be on the court. They don't look happy. They don't look have any joy. Did you see Luka and the video they put out with him and JJ Redick last night? There's so much tension on that team. It's like they can't handle any success. And then when they don't have success, it's a real bad situation. You want to talk about no chemistry on a team from where I sit? There looks like there's zero chemistry on a team. But yet, you know what, Ryan? Here they are at 36-24. And they're 6th in the West.
Luka is having an MVP caliber year.
On offense.
On offense. He is playing very good offensive basketball. I think the problem starts with JJ Redick and Luka. Luka offensively is as talented as they come, but everything else about Luka goes against what JJ preaches with basketball, Napes.
He's not easy to coach, and he's not easy to play with. Luka is one of the more difficult players in the NBA to play with. You know, I think that's the case with Trae Young. By the way, did you see Trae Young's playing this week?
I did not.
Yeah, he's coming back Thursday. So when you look at players that are hard to play with, Allen Iverson, right? Trae Young, Luka, ball dominant guys.
Correct.
You play basketball, you know, like everyone likes to touch the rock.
Russell Westbrook during his MVP years.
You know,
unfortunately, there was only one person that averaged 10 or more points on his team during one of his MVP years because the scoring was all him. And that's why the assists and whatnot. But yeah, no, Grant, it makes a big difference. I mean, you have to have a special type of chemistry to be able to have a good on-court just cohesiveness when you have a guy that's taking most of the shots.
The Wizards are having Trae Young make his debut this Thursday, Rhino, against the Utah Jazz.
You know, there's whispers Tatum might be coming back this week. What do you think?
Well, here's the deal. I think there are a lot of – let me back up. There's a lot of conversation about whether Tatum is going to disrupt the Celtics and what they've been able to accomplish this year, which, by the way, is very good, okay? They're having a very good season. Like when you look at the standings right now and you look at the East, the Boston Celtics are second. But you see, here's where I'm going to go with that. The goal is not just to be second. The goal, if you're Boston, is to win a championship. I don't think they're capable, in my opinion, of winning the championship if they don't have Jason Tatum playing on the floor. I'm not saying you have to start him, but you have to incorporate him. Now, I would also say this, Ryan. If he comes back and plays 15 games and he doesn't end up starting, then he didn't really come back and play that well because eventually you would have to start him, right?
I think so, yeah.
And the rotations normally get shorter in the offseason. So who's got a better chance of coming out of the East than Boston? Detroit, well, people say, well, the experience level, they lost to the Knicks last year. They won 2 games at the Garden. They showed a lot of moxie in that series. Are they ready to make that jump? The Knicks, to me, are very erratic. I know they had a big game last night against the Spurs. Cleveland is, to me, the most interesting team now in the East because they're so new.
Yeah.
And there are so many new pieces in a conference that, in my opinion, is just not that good. And I don't mean to demean Detroit, but, they're not Oklahoma City last year, okay? Could I see Detroit coming out of these? Yeah, obviously I could, but I don't think they will. So if you're looking at this from Boston's perspective, don't you need Jason Tatum if you're going to win the East?
Well, it's a good point. I'm thinking about this if I'm Boston. One style of play. They play really fast. They're moving around a lot. Can Jason Tatum get into that style with where he's at and with how much basketball he has missed throughout the season? The second big question is, do we really think with Jason Tatum playing at his best, we can win an NBA championship this year? And I don't know if the answer is yes to that. Because if
I
it's
think they
not,
can win the East.
Okay, but that's not a championship.
I understand, but that would be even teams that, like the Celtics with their tradition. Like if I told you at the beginning of the year that the Boston Celtics, without Jason Tatum for most of the year, without Drew Holiday, without Kristaps Porzingis, right, all the moves they made, would end up winning the East, you would go, no way.
Right.
Right?
Right. They lost Cornette.
Yep, that's right.
To San Antonio.
Yep. You would say no way, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, Peyton Pritchard has been unreal this season.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm getting at, and you're spot on there, what I'm getting at is, are you willing to risk re-injury of Tatum if you don't realistically think you can win a championship?
Yeah.
Re-injuring that Achilles and winning the East is going to be just as bitter of a pill.
Somebody said, what do I think of the Orlando Magic these days?
Oh, my God. Did you see that game yesterday?
No, I saw the highlights, though.
So Detroit shot like 1 of 18, 1 of 19 from beyond the arc in the first half.
Yep.
And Orlando was not lighting up the scoreboard either from beyond the three-point line. And then Detroit just bullied them inside, ended up winning by about 14 and held Orlando.
They wasn't even close at the end.
To 92.
Yep.
That, to me, Grant, is amongst the teams that are the most disappointing
I agree.
this year.
They're on the top of my list. You know what else is on top of my list? DAS Mechanical and their great community deeds, giving back to the community in a very charitable way. How about yourself? How about a friend? How about a veteran, right? Do you know of a veteran in need of a heating or air conditioning unit? Well, I've got good news for you. DAS Mechanical is giving one away. That's right. Nick Delancey, the owner, and his family, giving back to the community. And all you need to do is nominate yourself, somebody you know, or a veteran at dasmechanical.org. That's D as in dog, A, S as in Sam, mechanical.org. You just click on the link right at the top of the page there. You can't miss it. Say the 2026, and you'll see the nomination form. Very easy. Fill out the form. And maybe, just maybe, you'll win, or the person you recommend wins with installation a heating or air conditioning system. DASmechanical.org is your place to nominate. And good luck. Remember, DAS Mechanical, your HVAC experts, specialists. They are awesome. Locally owned, family owned, serving Sacramento and Placer counties. That's dasmechanical.org. Rolling right along here on a busy Monday on Fox Sports Sacramento.
We are
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabroods. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabroods, locally owned for more than 30 years. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabroods. G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabroods.com.
Downtown Ford Sacramento welcomes you. With literally acres of new and Ford certified pre-owned vehicles on site, you can start planning a road trip up into the snow now because Downtown Ford has the vehicles to get you there. And our top-notch service team will keep it running perfectly as long as you own it. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and fleet vehicles. Downtown Ford Sacramento. Open daily on Howe Avenue next to the How About Arden Shopping Center.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
You know, we haven't talked about the NFL, right? With the new year starting next week, there's a lot going on. The Detroit Lions, all right, trading one of their running backs who kind of lost a lot of time this past year. I'm talking about David Montgomery, who, by the way, in the last 3 seasons with Detroit put up some good numbers. But the Houston Texans need a featured back. He's going to be their featured back, going to the Lone Star State to play for the Texans. And, you know, the deal with the Texans is their quarterback, who was absolutely terrible in the 2 playoff games. And I'm talking about C.J. Stroud. But if you're looking at this from a Houston Texans perspective, I love this move. I think it's very good. I like this move a lot. They need a feature back. And guess what? They're getting a feature back. So if you're a fan of the Texans, I think you got to be very happy getting David Montgomery from the Detroit Lions. He's good. He's good. You know, again, Gibbs was better, and that's the problem, right? That's the problem. Gibbs is really, really good. Really good.
See, but Detroit's given up on that 1-2 combination. And I get a lot of teams focus on multi-backs, but they had the power back and then the speed back. And I think in Montgomery going to match up with that punishing defense, that's going to be a physical football team. They play their cards right.
You know, you just said the Orlando Magic you think are the most disappointing team in the NBA. To me, that was the Detroit Lions this past season. A lot of people had them going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they were the number 1 seed last year, and they didn't even make the playoffs this year.
Has the window closed for them?
No, it has not closed. Their biggest issue, in my opinion, is the emergence of Caleb Williams now in that division, who in only his second year really turned the corner under Ben Johnson. And he looks like he can be the real deal. Like you want to talk about the true franchise quarterback, Ryan?
Yeah.
He looks like that. He really does.
Minnesota seems like they're up in the air at that quarterback position.
Yeah, with J.J. McCarthy, I'm with you.
He can't stay on the field.
No, exactly. Yep. So I think when you look at the Lions, they have some very good talent. They got to get the better. Well, I'm going to be honest. I love Dan Campbell as a motivational coach and everything, but I do not like his in-game coaching. I think it lacks judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he's a riverboat gambler, and that's the way he plays. But, you know, it's just not a good recipe for success in the playoffs. And that happened 2 years ago against San Francisco. So let me give you the details on this, okay? So the Texans are getting Montgomery for offensive lineman, Juice Scruggs, and 2 draft picks. The draft picks are a 4th-round pick this year and a 7th-round pick in 2027. So look at these numbers, Rhino. 3 seasons with the Lions, he had 2,500 rushing yards and 33 touchdowns.
Wow.
Yeah. So the guy's not chopped liver, you know? And he's going to be the number 1 back. He's going to be the number 1 back for Houston, which is going to definitely help out C.J. Stroud. You know, we know that the bread and butter for the Houston Texans is their defense. But now next week's going to be crazy, Ryan. Next week's going to be crazy because NFL free agency, the new year, it's going to be like crazy. And we're going to see a lot of players on the move. And here's the biggest question that we have in this area, and I'm well aware they don't play here anymore, but is Max Crosby going to be a member of the Raiders before draft day? Now, the reason why I say before draft day, if he's on the Raiders and the first round starts and is completed, he won't be traded because teams are going to want draft capital for this year. They're not going to wait until next year. So they're obviously going to take Mendoza at quarterback. Okay? We know they have a lot of areas of need. A lot of people are comparing Max Crosby to Micah Parsons in terms of what he could get in return. Here's the big difference, Ryan, that I think some people are forgetting. Parsons is 3 years younger than Max Crosby.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's 3 years younger. That's a big difference in football.
That's a big difference.
So he's not going to get, in my opinion, what the Cowboys, in terms of draft capital, got from Green Bay. But you can get a lot for Max Crosby. And if you're a team, all right, let's talk about some teams here. Look at the Chicago Bears. Could you imagine Max Crosby on that defensive line for the Bears with what they are doing with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson offensively? Like where does that put them? I'll tell you where that puts them. That puts them right up there with the top teams in the NFC, in my opinion.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, how could you look at the Parsons and Love pairing in Green Bay and not think that pairing in Chicago might be a little bit better? Crosby would be a great fit for the city of Chicago.
Oh, boy.
And the fans there, they would eat that up. I just wonder, let me ask you this. Do you think his value is the same as Parsons? Because the Cowboys didn't necessarily need to trade him. With Crosby, he's in a bad situation. He's got time left on his contract. Yeah, he got sent home those last 2 weeks of the season. It'd be like the Kings, right? Where they're trying to get rid of some of their best players. Do you take a discount on that if you're the Raiders?
That's a fabulous question for a lot of different areas. First and foremost, he's probably the most beloved current Raider.
Great point.
Right? So he is your fan favorite in a stadium where most of the time it's visiting fans because your team has been so bad that nobody wants to go to the games. So even Mark Davis, the owner, was complaining about this. All right. He was saying, man, we built a stadium. We got all these fans from the other teams. Now, we kind of knew that was going to be the case. But you know what, Ryan? It's not the case with the hockey team.
No, it is not.
But you know what? If you put a good product on the field, Ryan, you won't see as many Chiefs fans at the games. You won't see as many fans of the Chargers at the games. You won't see as many fans of your opponents at the games because your fans will want to go to the games and not sell the tickets as much.
Well, I don't think Raider fan was done any favors with the size of that building and that team being in Vegas because there's not a bad seat in that building. It's a little bit smaller than most NFL venues. And I think the Raiders, in some ways, kind of priced out some of their fan base.
Well, but everyone in the NFL prices out their fans.
Well, yes, you can price out your fans, but you can also have more inventory available, which makes the price go down a little bit more for the seats that are way up, maybe a little obstructed in the end zone.
Great point. And you listen, Vegas is a very unique situation. It's the most unique in the entire NFL in terms of supply and demand. When your high rollers come in and they got to have all these tickets and it's a whole different animal. But, back to Max for a moment. So when the season kicks off, he's going to be 29. Now, that's not an old man, but there's a big difference between 26 and 29 as an NFL football player.
When you're paying that kind of money,
yes,
no doubt about it.
That's my point, because if he goes to a team, first of all, what does Max want? Well, Max says all the right things. He wants to be a Raider. I get that. He wants to be a lifelong Raider. But what does Max want? He wants to be playing in January. He's not playing in January with the Raiders this year. Now, I don't know about the future, but I'm pretty comfortable in saying that he's not going to be playing in January. Well, when I mean not playing in January, I'm talking about the postseason. The regular season may bleed into the first Sunday of January.
Sure.
But he's not going to the playoffs. And so if you're Max Crosby, what do you want? Do you want to be a Raider for life? Or do you want to go to a team that's already a playoff team and put them over the top and play maybe in February? The Raiders control the situation here.
Right.
But he's, of all the players right now going into the NFL New Year, he's being talked about more than any other player in the NFL that I have been seeing.
Seems like that position has now been getting just about as much run as the wide receiver position when it comes to an impactful player being on the market. You've seen it with Parsons now. We've seen it with other DNs, Max being the latest. I think you and I have had the conversation many times. When you're rebuilding a football team, you start with the lines and then you go to the quarterback. I mean, that's what you've seen some of these very successful teams do. But I want to be a winner if I'm Max Crosby. You just laid it out. I'm 29. This Raiders rebuild, even if things work out with Mendoza, Grant, you're 3-4 years probably off with really low confidence that this team will know how to build a winner. The closest they've come in a long time was Derek Carr when he broke his neck.
So, I'm not in the hypotheticals and everything, but I do sometimes look at the byline and who's writing about these individuals, right?
Sure.
So I came across a story on SI.com about a trade proposal that was reported to be discussed. And that's why I brought it up, where the Bears get Max Crosby for a first-round pick this year, number 25, a third-round pick next year, a third-round pick this year, number 89, and DJ Moore. You have a quarterback that you're going to be drafting in Fernando Mendoza. DJ Moore is really good, right? I didn't like the way he blew off the media after the playoff loss, but good. Would you think about that, Ryan, or you go, nope, I need more?
I need more.
Okay.
A first and a third for Max, and I get DJ Moore, but he extended 2 years ago, so I don't know what's left on his contract, and he's a little bit older too, Grant, right?
I'd have to look up his age, but I know Max is going to be 29 when the season begins. Look up DJ Moore's age and let me know what he is.
10-4.
But I just think next week's going to be a lot of fun when we look at the combine that we just had, and I think it's going to be. I think there's going to be so much movement next week in the following days.
DJ's 28.
Yeah. All right.
So, hey, but look at how big for the Rams this year that Devontae Adams was, and everybody was like, "Who's going to pay that much money for that guy?" He was big for them.
Huge.
So,
well, when you think about the Rams, and they may have the most dynamic receiver now in the NFL in Pua Nakua, right?
Yeah.
I mean, how good is he?
If he can keep his head straight.
Oh, well, that's the problem. But he is so he came from nowhere and took the league by storm. Think about this.
Yeah.
Your team that won the Super Bowl, was their best receiver for many years.
Very true. Very true. Let me ask you this. Is the Stafford Goff trade then Sabonis trade of the NFL?
No. And I'll tell you why. It's a great question. And you know how quickly I said no? Well, the reason why I say that, if he does, 1,000%. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Or until Goff wins a championship, and then we can't even compare it.
That's correct. That's correct. I mean, Goff winning a championship in Detroit would be, and I don't mean this to demean Matthew Stafford, that would be much more impressive than Stafford doing what he did with the Rams.
No doubt. No doubt about it.
A lot of fun today. Let's continue on this topic. When we come back, don't forget about Grant's Rant coming your way at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Kevin Harlan near the top of the show. I love Kevin. Everyone loves Kevin. Love Kevin Harlan. He'll be my guest tomorrow. Sean Salisbury in hour number 3 tomorrow. We've got Olden Polynice. He'll be coming on the show Wednesday. JT the Brick is going to join me this week. Kevin Nagel, the managing general partner of the Sacramento Republic. They open up the season Saturday right here in Sacktown. We're going to have him on, and I'm going to get an update on the stadium at the rail yards. I have some questions for Kevin. So he's going to be coming on Thursday right after Grant's rant. And we'll have a couple of other guests throughout the week as well, right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
All right, Kings fans, quick time out with your guy Rhino from the Grant Napear Show. Like me, if you're already watching every Domas screen, every Levine 3, you might as well make it more interesting with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the largest daily fantasy sports site in America, and it's simple. You pick 2 to 6 players and choose whether they'll go more or less on their stat line. That's it. No salary caps, no waiver wires. Tonight, maybe it's DeMar DeRozan points, more. Maybe it's Sabonis rebounds, also more. Or maybe you fade somebody on the other side. Pro football, hoops, elite college action. The action never stops with Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code RHINO to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code RHINO, R-Y-N-O, to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
We all want to look and feel our best. Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to live your best life every day. There are simple, practical, and inexpensive changes that you can make in your life today that will elevate your life in so many incredible ways. If it feels like it's time to hit that reset button and start living your best life now, Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to schedule a free healthy aging consultation with Dr. Dennis Godby, an accomplished author and expert in the art of aging gracefully. As we age, things change. We might start to experience lower energy, changes in mood, brain fog, or just a lack of motivation. And for guys, the onset of middle age can mean a lower libido and oftentimes ED. These things can usually be safely and easily treated. Visit gettingbetternow.com today and schedule your free healthy aging consultation with Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center, located in Midtown.
Investors, keep listening to learn how to get your free gold report. A currency crisis is upon us. The U.S. dollar has been the world's reserve currency for over 50 years, but that is changing. It's time to protect your retirement. Decades of reckless borrowing and spending have critically weakened the dollar. The U.S. has become the world's biggest debtor with over $35 trillion in debt. Plus, the dollar's become weaponized. Countries are dumping it. Investors who wait until it's too late could lose big. There is one safe haven: gold. Diversify your portfolio with a physical asset they can't take away. Call the Reagan Gold Group right now and ask for your free gold guide. Here's our number:
800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. That's 800-941-4184.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Grant's rant coming up in about 20 minutes. 916-77. That's 779-0929. Kings and Phoenix Suns tomorrow. All right, let's go have some fun here. Over under tomorrow. 8,700 fans at the game.
Are we going to say announced?
No, with your eyes.
First time back,
so
8 o'clock game.
So here's your assignment. I'm expecting you to go to the game, and when the game, wait about 5 minutes, let people get in the seats, and then I want you to count everyone in the arena, okay?
Grant, San Diego State only taught me up to 100, buddy.
It's funny, AI and all that, they probably could do that if we're, pretty soon, right?
Yeah, that's very true. In fact, I have something better than AI.
Yeah.
Really good friends with one of the ushers there. Great guy, listener too. His number is usually dead on. He's tracking it all the time. But to answer your question, so I will go to him. I'm going to say under 8,700.
Yeah, me too. 8 o'clock game. And if Booker's ruled out before the game, that's not going to help either because there's no reason to go. I mean, you're going to go to watch some of the young players on Sacramento, but is that enough to get you to go to an 8 o'clock game on a Tuesday night? I don't think so.
Well, okay. If you saw that same starting lineup that we saw a couple of nights ago roll out there, then maybe the one you saw in Memphis, you'd go to see the young players. But last night, Devin Carter had only played 8 minutes coming into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
If you see that again, I mean, I don't know that a lot of Kings fans are going to shell out unless, you become part of, what did you say, the 9 games for $109?
Yeah, 9 games for $109.
Maybe that boosts the attendance. Definitely pisses off the season ticket holders.
I would think so. I'm sure they're getting offers to do. I know a lot of people. When I say I know, people that have come up to me personally that I don't know when they talk to me about the Kings. I've had a couple of people last week, as a matter of fact, 2 people, lower level seats that I did not know, told me they're done. They're not getting tickets for next year. I mean, now, here's what I do know about this great community. If the Kings hit gold in the lottery, the phones will be ringing off the hook.
You think the draft's that strong?
I think if the Kings get the number 1 pick, it will increase ticket sales dramatically.
No doubt. No doubt. And the Kings need to knock that out of the park with the marketing as well when it comes to leading up to that pick.
It seems to me, and this is what makes me nervous, Scott Pollard and Jerry Reynolds are the only 2 people that I've heard that feel that there's not that franchise-altering player in this draft, right?
Yeah.
And they're rarely wrong about this stuff.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't mean you can't get a very good player. Like, is Cooper Flagg a defining franchise player? Well, we don't know. But if, based on you this season, and again, he's 18 years or just turned 19. He's a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't get into Magic City.
Well, it depends. He might be able to get into Magic City, but he might not be able to get the wristband to buy liquor.
No, he wouldn't even be able to get in.
Okay. All right.
Is he a franchise-defining player, in your opinion? Or do you think he will be? He's not right now. Do you think he will be?
Oh, man. I don't think Cooper Flagg is going to be on the level of Victor Wembanyama. I don't think he's going to be Giannis, but I think he's going to be the tier under that. I think he's going to be a very, very good player, a perennial all-star, but not the guy that leads you to 2 or 3 championships. You?
No, I don't. Hey, Grant, got my renewal for season tickets today. Kind of torn on what to do. That's Pete from Galt. Did the prices go up? Peter, could you text me back on that?
Yeah, what was the selling point on that, Peter?
A selling point?
Yeah, like what's the hype around, what's the pitch to renew coming off of this season?
You get to see Slamson.
He always puts on a good show.
Yeah, I mean, you get to see Slamson.
Scotty Moak never has a bad game. He brings his best. It's a good point there.
Peter from Galt. What are you going to do? Did the prices go up at all, Peter? Did the prices go up? Another one, have I ever been to Magic City. No, I actually never have been to Magic City in Atlanta. And I'm not saying I have never been to a strip club before, but I haven't been to Magic City in Atlanta. I have not. Didn't make that one. Didn't.
I've never seen the point in those types of
You know what the point is? I'll
venues.
tell you exactly what the point
Go
is.
ahead. Yeah.
I'm only speaking for me.
Okay.
So there are many cities that we would go to where the game is played. By the time you get showered on the bus and go back to the hotel, assuming that you're not flying out that night, a lot of these establishments have phenomenal food, and the players would go there without even, and I mean this, I know you're going to say, oh, yeah, right. The dancers were not why they were going. They were going to eat dinner, and they always had games on, and then leave. And I mean that. I know people go, come on, Grant.
Okay.
No, I'm telling you, it's the truth.
Great. I believe that from an NBA player, but somebody like Haunted Horse, it's like, oh, I went for the food. No, you didn't go for the food, horse. You know what I mean? Like, I just, it's for me. And then inevitably, I'm going to take it a step further. If you do go to one of those establishments, inevitably one of the dudes in your crew is going to think one of the girls is into you.
Good Lord.
And you get dragged into a 3-hour night where the guy's spent everything on his ATM card thinking he's going to get a phone number. It's like, dude, it's their job.
It said, how does Grant know the age limit at Magic City? Because they serve alcohol in there, and the drinking age is 21. That's how I know. I mean, I don't know what else I need to tell you, but thank you for your interest in how do I know. 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. I'm not even going to get into this topic because I'm not qualified and educated enough to verse my audience as it pertains to the question that you just asked me. I'm only talking about it because it is in the news and it is involving a professional basketball team in the Atlanta Hawks, and Luke Cornett of the Spurs, a current player in the NBA, came out today and was extremely outspoken about why this promotion scheduled for 2 weeks from tonight needs to be canceled. Now, he talked about that it should be canceled, and he mentioned alluding to the workers of these establishments. Again, I am not qualified to talk on the business aspect of, gee, is it okay? Is it not okay? Like, that's not what I do. I'm not even going there. But I wonder, as we get closer to March 16th, and subsequently, assuming that they keep the promotion, again, it's not like they're going to have the gals that work at Magic City come out on the floor naked, all right? I mean, like, let's not, like, blow this out of proportion. It's the concept, right? That I think that some people are having a problem with. And listen, I'll tell you this about Luke. I've never met Luke. I don't know Luke. I respect him for speaking about how he feels. You know what? He's a member of the NBA. He has every right to come out and say this if a promotion bothers him. Look at what Oral Hershiser did last year. He came out and ripped the Dodgers for Pride Night, or 2 years ago, destroyed them. And it became a big deal, and they had major protests outside the stadium. It was an absolute disaster for the Dodgers. It was a headache of epic proportions.
I think what we have here, because I've asked some people as well about, is there something we're missing about this? I think in the Atlanta area, this establishment is more than what maybe we see. There's a lot of musical origins that have started there, artists that have started there. It's been kind of a hub of culture that has grown out of that establishment. So I bet if you asked most of the people in Atlanta, they would think of that first rather than what you're going there to see. So
Yep.
they would be fine with that night. But everybody else on the outside looking in is like, whoa, you're doing this about a place?
Here's one on the text line. Yeah, right. I always bought Playboy for the articles. I'm telling you that the reason for going to the club, first and foremost, was the food. And I can name the cities, okay? And that was the main reason. Now, when you're sitting there, are you looking at the scenery? Yes, you are. But I will tell you this, on many nights, if the kitchen were closed or that establishment didn't have food, we wouldn't be going there. So that's the truth, believe it or not. I'll be happy to take a lie detector test right here on the air if you want. I'm serious.
I believe you.
I mean that.
I
Yeah.
was just thinking about whether or not I was going to pull my lie detector
Go
out
ahead,
of the
bring it out here.
backpack.
I'm happy to do it. I got nothing to hide. All right, 916-779-0929. That's 779-0929. It's the truth.
Yeah, no, look, it was also different back then. You
Yes.
know, guys were not staying in as much as they do now.
Oh,
as
it's
you
totally
pointed
different.
out, 'cause
Night
of
and day.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
yes,
of social media.
That doesn't pretend to James Harden, by the way.
No, it does not. James Harden, man.
But I mean, back in that, before camera phones,
yes,
it was very commonplace. Why do you think these establishments exist? They're in every city in America. We had advertising here on this station for one.
We did.
So like and I'm not talking about big cities. I'm talking about rural cities. I mean, I'm doing a sports show here. I'm not going to get into whether it's right or wrong. I'm only talking with the Atlanta Hawks. And I think it's very interesting that a current player in the NBA has come out with such a strong statement. That's why I'm talking about it. It's newsworthy. And I would tell you that the fact that it's the only team in professional sports, hockey, football, basketball, and baseball that has had a promotion like this, I'm asking, well, why the Atlanta Hawks? And I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to the owner, who is the producer of the 5-part docuseries on Stars. That's why. That's my opinion. Could be wrong. That's my opinion.
And we're still seeking everybody else's opinion on whether you think that's a conflict of interest. Hit us up, 916-779-0929.
Grant Strand is coming up in just a couple of moments. Don't forget Kevin Harlan tomorrow, right about 3:05. We're going to get him going in the first part of the show, Sean Salisbury as well. Wednesday, we're taking the show on the road. Bennett's in Roseville, 3 to 6. Come on out and say hello. We will be at Bennett's in Roseville. Saturday, at the Capitol Mall for the Capitol Beer Fest. We'll be out there from, 12 to 3?
11.
Oh, 11 to 3. I got to get these times right. I'll be out there earlier than 11. I can tell you that right now, Rhino. I'll be out there way before 11 o'clock.
Yeah, hydrating. Beautiful weather schedule.
Yeah, the forecast looks good. The beneficiary is running for Rhett Foundation, so good job right there. I will be out there. Come on by and say hello at the Capitol Mall. I'm looking forward to it.
We're going to have our own Fox Sports Sacramento tent.
Yes.
We'll have some cigars. Grant
Yes.
will be meeting and greeting everybody. If you want me to take a picture of you with Grant, I'll be more than happy to do so.
I don't really recommend that. I mean, I'm saying you can do it, and I'm happy to do it, but I would encourage you to take pictures of people that are a lot better than me.
Stop it. Stop it.
I'm just saying, I'd be more than happy to take a photo with you. More than happy. You going to do it, Rhino? You're going to take a picture? You're going to
I'll take
not a
the
selfie?
picture.
You're going to actually be the guy taking the pictures?
Sure.
All right.
If somebody comes up and they're
Okay.
like, Grant, can I get a picture with you? Sure.
Yeah.
I'd be more than happy to.
By the way, Brian Knight, former MLB umpire, he retired last year, is going to be coming to Bennett's on Wednesday. And I'm going to talk to him about this new system, right? The ASB, the automatic strikes and balls, and the automated system. I'm going to talk to Brian about that because that is coming into Major League Baseball for the regular season. So I'm going to talk to him about that and some of the logistics involved and things of that nature. So he's going to be at Bennett's, and I'm looking forward to talking with him. Don't know whether Jerry Reynolds is going to be out there. We'll see. He's been under the weather lately, but I know Jerry. If he's feeling up to it, he'll be there.
Jerry's a trooper.
He is a trooper. Yep, indeed. Don't forget, tomorrow, it'll be late, but we'll be on YouTube after the Kings and the Phoenix Suns. Probably be about 10:15, 10:30. Grant's Rant coming up next, right here on Fox Sports Sacramento. Hey, folks, are you or do you know a veteran or family in need of a heating or air conditioning unit? I've got awesome news because DAS Mechanical is giving back by donating one to a veteran or family in need. Owner Nick Delancey and his family, hey, they're always looking to give back to the community, and they're excited to help out a veteran or family in need. Just go to dasmechanical.org and nominate yourself or, hey, someone you know to receive one. And yes, it comes with installation. It's very simple to enter. Go to dasmechanical.org, click the 2026 HVAC system donation tab. Fill out a very short 6-question nomination form. Nominate now at dasmechanical.org. DAS Mechanical, family-owned, locally owned, HVAC experts, serving Sacramento for years. For all of your HVAC needs, DAS will exceed your expectations. Once again, that's dasmechanical.org.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabrudes. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrude and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans, to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrudes does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabrudes, expert 5-star service and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabrudes.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrudes.com.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. By granting former first-round pick Anthony Richardson permission to seek a trade, the Colts may have just boxed themselves into a corner by surrendering any contract leverage with Daniel Jones. Now the negotiating table with Jones looks different. The QB delivered a breakout stretch in Indy, but context matters. We're talking about 13 games. This is also a quarterback working his way back from an Achilles injury. It's not a decade of dominance, just a promising sample size. QB markets are built on scarcity. Once Richardson was effectively removed as an internal alternative, Jones' representation gained power. The Colts need somebody productive under center. And with no first-round pick in 2026 or 27, they're running out of options. Margin for errors disappear. Indy may believe Jones is the answer. That's defensible. But the danger is not committing to him. The danger is having to overcommit because they have no other choice. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. These days, everybody's searching for ways to save on insurance, scrolling comparison sites, digging through tips, chasing deals, but Liberty Mutual makes it simple. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance to save you money. And when you bundle, those savings really come through. It's insurance built for real people with a team that goes above and beyond to help you keep more of what matters. No hunting, no hassle, just confidence that your coverage customized with savings in mind. Start your quote at libertymutual.com. 2 words, prostate exam. Relax. Screening starts with a simple finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or over and have a prostate, visit relaxitsabloodtest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and the next steps. Sponsored by Novartis.
Tell your friends. Grant's back. Grant Napear is back on the Sacramento airwaves right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst. K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
It's time for Grant.
Yeah, let's get the week started on a good note. What are my options?
Napes, I am so tired of seeing players and professionals and their girlfriends and their families being on camera as much as the athletes, or if somebody tweets something about the player, now news posts are being put out that they dropped the news that a player re-signed first. Can we just let the players play and put the camera on the players? It's too much for me. Second is, look, this is outside of the world of sports, but you know what's really starting to bug me is these drive-throughs that have 2 lanes where I have to choose a lane, wondering, is the person in front of me going to be ordering everything? Are the 2 cars in the other side just getting a cup of coffee? I've already made the choice that I want to come to your establishment. Don't ask me to make another one besides what I am ordering. And then you need a meter to merge with these cars.
I know. I'm with you on that.
I'm so sick of it. So those are your choices.
Wow. But here's my problem with that. How do the people that are serving you know what order to give to you? Because they don't know what car is going in front of the other. And if you're like me and you're a New Yorker, right, who's used to driving in New York many, many, many years ago, you're not getting in front of me. And the metered ramps, you know how I feel about metered ramps. Now I'm going to have meter at a fast food place? Come on. Are you freaking kidding me? A meter, like with a light to tell me when I can go and when I can't go? Give me my food. What do you need 2 lanes for? I mean, and here's the other deal. Talking about that. How lazy are we as a society that there are people that will go to a coffee establishment, I'm not going to mention a name because I don't have anything against the company, or a hamburger establishment where the line in the cars literally wraps around the building, so much so that you have to have workers come out on their little tablet and take your order. And you're like the 19th car in line, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, you know what? If it's 5 below 0 or it's raining an inch a minute, maybe I'm not getting out of my car, okay? But, like, we live in California where a lot of the time the weather's nice. Like, I'm getting out of my car. I'm not waiting in line. I feel like I'm at rush hour at JFK where I'm number 21 online, and the pilot comes on and says, ladies and gentlemen, we are in line for takeoff. Unfortunately, there are 19 other aircraft in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, come on. Really? 19 planes in front of us? Come on now. I don't get it. I don't. Are you one of these people, Rhino, that will wait in line for 15 minutes to get a burger or a cup of coffee?
Absolutely not.
Thank you. But there are people that do it all the time. I drove by I could not believe it. So you want to talk about lines, right?
Yeah.
I actually did a double take because I could not believe what it was. It's not too far from where we are right now. A coffee shop. Three choices left. I thought I was on the Long Island Expressway in New York. I got a fast lane, a middle lane, and a right lane. No, really, 3.
I know.
Not 1, not 2, 3 lanes to get coffee. And I see a gal running around with her tablet, and I didn't sit there and count all the cars. There must have been, I'm not exaggerating, at least 30 vehicles that were going to order their whatever from this coffee shop. And you know what? Good for the owner of that coffee shop because they're doing some great business.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you who else is doing great business. The oil companies. Because there are people, unlike you, that have an electric car that are running out of gas, waiting that long to get their coffee and their burgers.
Good job by you.
You have an electric vehicle, and if you're fully charged, you're going to be okay. But I got to tell you, Rhino, don't go to an establishment like that if your battery's running low, because then you're going to really screw everything up, because then you won't be able to move your car because your battery will be dead, and then we got major problems.
Major problems. People honking at you because you're holding up the line. And Grant, all 3 lines run to the same one window.
Yes. Yes. All right, let's go on the honor system here. Hit me up. 916-779-0929 on the text line. Are you one of these folks that don't have a problem waiting 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or longer on a line for a fast food or coffee shop or whatever? Are you one of those? Or will you either go, I'm not going here, I'm going to go somewhere else? Or do you park your car, get out, and walk in? Speaking of burger joints, Kevin Harlan?
Yeah.
Do you know what Kevin, like when he comes to, Kevin lives in the Midwest, okay? Kevin Harlan, what do you think his favorite thing to eat is?
In-N-Out.
Yes. How did you know that?
Because you said Midwest, and there's not very many out there.
He comes out here, and he can't get enough In-N-Out.
Yep.
He loves it because it's not available where he lives.
Yeah. Yep. And
why is that? Like, if it's so like if you had a business, a company that is so successful in one region of the country, why would you not expand it to another part of the country?
You know what? I think long and hard about that, because there's people that it's like, okay, we're going to have as many as possible everywhere. And then there's people that's like, we're going to have more than enough. But what we're going to do is we're going to make sure every single one of them is right and it tastes the same way at every location that you go to. And that's how you end up with the lines that you're talking about.
All right,
So
I got a
see both
story
sides
for
of
you.
it.
I don't know how old I was, but I was a kid. And my brother and me are in the car, and we're driving back from church. So I know it wasn't football season because we would be at a game.
Sure.
So we're driving back from church, which we went to in New York City, and it's about an hour drive to where we live. And my dad says, I'm taking you guys to a great lunch today. You're going to have the best burger you've ever had in your life. And we love hamburgers. We're like, really? Yeah. So we get off the Long Island Expressway, and we go on this, I think it was called Jericho Turnpike. And we pull in to this burger joint. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Called Burger King. It was just starting.
Really?
Yeah, like they were. I was like, whoa, I'm like, whoa, what's again? Talking about the new kid on the block.
Yeah.
Okay. And we got a Whopper. And my dad, I swear, you would have thought that he had just won the lottery. Like, he was so freaking happy, and we all got Whoppers. So I remember the first time I ever had a Whopper, and we had to drive pretty far out of our way because there were no Burger Kings around because they were just starting out. They were new.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it tells you how old I am.
I mean, it's not about the number. It's about how you look, my man. You're looking good. Look at you on that 1080p camera right now.
Yeah.
Yep, there's the guns. They even let those on Air Force One. They have that much respect for them.
Yeah, they let me sit in the captain's chair in the cockpit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
absolutely.
exactly.
90 minutes before the president of the United States got on board. Gee.
The only reason they didn't let him put on the president's flight jacket was because they thought the sleeves would rip. So, yeah.
All right, here's one for you. I wait in line. I'm self-employed, and it allows me to get work done safely in the car. Plus, if it's during the Grant Napear show, I don't want to miss anything. It's a great job right there.
Good job.
Now, you could technically have the Fox Sports KSAC app on your phone, and you could listen to it while you walk into the store. could have a little
No,
headphones.
but that's rude. That's rude.
No, not. I was saying if you had some earbuds or something, it's
Yeah,
not
but
rude.
but you don't want to be on your earbuds when you're ordering. Or
No, you take them out when you get up in order.
But then you miss part of the show. I see what they're doing.
I like it. Hey, I'm all in.
Let me raise this conversation a little bit. She brought up a coffee shop, and it made me think of another coffee shop. A lot of these places offer free internet, right? And so much like you, I didn't want to wait in line. I walked myself into the coffee shop, and I'm looking around for a place to sit. And I swear, every corner I looked, there is somebody that has set up shop where they're holding court for the day. They're having meetings inside the coffee shop. I saw somebody with a monitor that they had hooked up to their laptop. I'm like, whoa.
Yep.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Speaking of a whoa, here's my travel of the day, right?
All right, let's get to it.
So you know how this is unbelievable, okay? With what's going on in the Middle East, okay? So I am on this app that shows all of the airplanes in the world in the sky. And it looks like a circle in the Middle East where there are absolutely no planes. It's an arc. It's an arc above Israel, Iraq, Iran, and way below that. And then you go to the UAE on my app. And by the way, it's a map of the world, but you can zoom in, you can zoom out. And they had some flights today. And the reason why I follow this stuff all the time. Finally, after a couple of days of being closed, and you can understand why, they have some flights going in out of Dubai. As a matter of fact, there's a plane right now currently landing from Mumbai, just touched down in Dubai. Also, Abu Dhabi, a few flights leaving as a flight just took off for Amsterdam, although that's a cargo plane. But I'm going to show you this at the next commercial break. You would not believe what the traffic looks like in the sky above that region of the world. I've never seen anything like this before. It's incredible. It's unbelievable. There's just like no planes anywhere in the sky.
Can you imagine if that app was around on 9/11?
Oh,
if you
boy.
would have looked at the U.S., there would have only been one flight. Somebody, believe it or not, somebody got bit by an inland taipan on 9/11. It's the most venomous snake in the world.
The what?
Inland taipan.
Wow.
The reason that you don't hear about those bites is because they live in a very desolate area, flat, dry. Nobody usually goes and, visits there unless you're looking for the snake. Well, somebody that keeps them in Florida got bit by one, and the antivenom was all the way here in California. They had to get clearance from the government to fly the antivenom. And yes, I'm saying venin, not venom.
I don't
You
even
go
know how
both
that
ways.
person would have survived.
They had to put him on a ventilator.
Oh, my
Because
gosh.
you stop breathing within, I want to say, it's actually one of the first steps of treatment is they end up getting you on supported breathing. But yeah, that was one of the only flights that day.
Man. 916-779-0929, 779-0929. Don't forget Kevin Harlan tomorrow on the show, Sean Salisbury on tomorrow. Kings and Suns tomorrow. We don't know yet about Devin Booker, or at least the last time I looked, I did not have an update on Devin Booker. He was looking to return either tomorrow or the game on Thursday. I think they're playing Portland on Thursday. Don't hold me to that. Have you had an update on Booker yet? Have you seen? I have not seen an update. The last thing I saw was he is looking to return to action either tomorrow or Thursday. I haven't seen an update.
Checking right now, the Suns have not submitted as of the last injury report, and the Kings injury report right now is clean. Keegan Murray still out with the ankle, which we know.
Yeah, it's clean. Let's see. Sabonis is not playing. Levine's not playing.
Yep.
Murray's not playing. Yeah, but it's clean.
Yeah, it's clean.
No, I know.
You know what I mean.
I know. Yeah. Well, it really doesn't matter at this point. All right, I'm going to give you the over-under 27 hours before the game starts.
Okay.
All right, here's your over-under. I'm going to go 15 and a half. Russell Westbrook number of shots. Under or over?
Under.
15 and a half under?
Under.
Why?
I don't think the Kings will play well tomorrow night. It's the first game back from a road trip.
It's a little different of a road trip, though, because you spent several days in L.A. getting acclimated to the Pacific time zone. It's not a big deal. It's not like a typical road trip. I mean, it's a little bit different. But okay, fair enough.
Well, okay, how much is it the time changes versus being away for a week and a half from...
Both.
Okay.
Time change has a lot to do with it, but honeydew list has a lot to do with it.
I think if Russ gets off to, and I don't anticipate him shooting any better than he has as of late, and the number has improved as the game goes along the last few games, I think the G1C fans are going to react to it, and Doug Christie's going to have no choice but to put a stop to it. Which way are you going?
I'm going to go over. Yeah, I'm going to go over.
So you're going to say 16 shots in 22 minutes?
Yep.
All right.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm
going over.
DeMar DeRozan had one shot after the first quarter. I think he only had two at halftime.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Unbelievable. Hey, I want to tell you about Village Financial Group, and rates finally below 6%. And guess what? We're going to start seeing the housing market move. And if you are in the market in 2026, if you are buying a home, all right, if you are selling a home, you need an experienced person working for you in the real estate market. And that's why I like talking about Village Financial Group and Spencer and what he can do for you. 30 years in the mortgage brokerage business. His business, Village Financial Group, family owned. All right. 2000 is when they began their family owned business. That's when I met Spencer. As a matter of fact, I'm having lunch with Spencer tomorrow. Looking forward to it. But again, he's so good at what he does. He's been doing it for a long time. And here's something else that you should keep in mind. He is very creative when it comes to financing. He is a financing specialist, and he has access to private money, which can expedite the process from start to finish. And that's really what it's about, right? It's kind of like a white glove service with Spence, a boutique shop, one-stop all. He does it all for you. That's Spencer at Village Financial Group. It makes sense to call, or you can text Spence at 916-805-4868. That's 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. Your phone calls and more next right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's, G-U-B-R-U-D-S, Gabrud's.com.
Some call it overplanning. At Sierra Pacific Home and Comfort, we call it foresight. Be prepared for the next power outage with a Generac home standby generator system. When the power goes out, your Generac system kicks in, so you've always got power no matter what. Upgrade your home with a Generac home standby generator system professionally installed by the energy pros at Sierra Pacific Home and Comfort.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
I have a question for folks in Northern California. And I, again, point to Phil Mushnick, who got in the, he got in the CC Sabathia a little bit, so much so that Sabathia responded on social media. And the Yankees have announced that they're going to retire Sabathia's number. And I am a lifelong Yankee fan, and I have nothing against CC Sabathia, but he should not have his jersey retired, in my opinion. He doesn't deserve, as a New York Yankee, to have his jersey retired. All right? You want to retire it in Milwaukee? Go ahead. Retire it in Milwaukee. Don't retire it in New York. He does not belong out there with Ruth, DiMaggio, Mantle, Jeter. I mean, come on now. And I found it very interesting when I read about Phil Mushnick and what he had to say, and that it got, I guess it was maybe today or yesterday, that kind of got under the skin of CC. It said, Yankees retiring CC Sabathia's number shows the sad state of our standard for greatness. And he's spot on. The reason why I'm talking about this is not because I'm from New York. It's because CC Sabathia is from here. He's from Vallejo. And Phil writes, if we listen closely, we can hear the grandfather, a lifelong Yankees fan, speaking to his grandson. Oh, yeah, so many memorable moments. Did I ever tell you that I was in Yankee Stadium the day they retired CC Sabathia's number? Yeah? What a special moment. What was his number? Darn if I remember. It was one of those big ones, 50-something. Or was that the number he wore during his 8 years with Cleveland? How about me? I said Milwaukee. I got it wrong. Everything about Yankee Stadium, except ticket prices, parking fees, and the cost of eats and drinks, seem to be done on the cheap and the cheesy. Last week, we learned that the team will hold a pregame ceremony September 26th, during which Sabathia's number 52 will be retired along with the all-time greats. Was Sabathia an all-time great Yankee? No. He was an all-time pretty good pitcher whose ERA 4 times exceeded 4.70. He was further known as a slob who spoke vulgarities as a matter of discourse while growing too heavy to field his position. He even grew demonstrably angry with batters for having the audacity to reach first base against him by bunting towards first, as if his corpulence hadn't begged opponents to take advantage of it. But you know how it goes. The game has changed. One is left with the sense that the Yanks, eager to fabricate a ticket-pushing special game, landed on Sabathia's name and availability. Thus, he'll be honored right up there with Ruth, Mantle, DiMaggio, Ford, Bearer, Howard, Rivera, Jeter, Dickey, and Gehrig. And good enough has become the new great. Besides, what does it now take to be enshrined in Sports Hall of Fame? Bud Selig, despite playing blind and stupid to MLB's record-smashing steroids era, was a fast-lane entrant to the Baseball Hall of Fame. The Basketball Hall of Fame is swollen with college coaches whose fame and financial fortunes were predicated upon documented and sanctioned cheating. Finally, Joe Biden bestowed the country's highest civilian award, the Presidential Medal of Honor, on Megan Rapinoe For many Americans, the most repulsive, proudly unsportsmanlike, self-smitten, self-entitled, and anti-American athlete ever to compete on an international stage. How about that? Sabathia, I said Milwaukee, obviously Cleveland. But CC was not happy with that story from Phil Mushnick. And he came out on social media and had a little something to say. I am 100%, all right, on Phil Mushnick's side here. I don't agree with everything that Phil says, even though I read quite a bit of his columns, because I think he's one of the few in the country that's not afraid to speak the truth. And I really appreciate that. But his name does not belong. His number does. I'm sorry. He is not one of the all-time great Yankees, and that's absurd. So what did CC Sabathia say? Well, CC, after this story came out by Phil Mushnick, came out on social media and said, Phil, sorry you feel that way. See you 9/26/26. I don't think so. By the way, there are a lot of fans in New York that are taking issue with this. Matter of fact, most of the fans feel that this is ridiculous and have a problem with it. This is definitely, he does not deserve to have number 52 retired. That's just a bad move by the Yankees. Bad move.
How often do the Yankees retire a jersey or put somebody into their every team
it's a
calls
retired
it a different
jersey,
thing.
yeah, out at Monument Park.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but CC Sabathia, when you say how often, I'll tell you right now. Let me bring it up for you. All right? Let's do it.
Yeah. The only reason I ask is teams have their rings of honor, and
New York Yankees retired jersey numbers. All right, let's do it. There's 24. All right, 24, including Jackie Robinson's league-wide 42, which we already know, but that was Mariano Rivera's number. So, I mean, all right?
Right.
So, 25 legends from the Babe Ruth to CC Sabathia, all right? The team has famously retired all single-digit numbers with 8 worn by both Yogi Berra and Bill Dickey. All right, here we go. Here's your list. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Billy Martin, Derek Jeter, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, Joe Torre, Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, Bill Dickey, Roger Maris, Phil Rizzuto, Thurman Munson, Whitey Ford, Jorge Posada, Paul O'Neill, Don Mattingly, Elston Howard, Casey Stengel, Mariano Rivera, Reggie Jackson, Andy Pettit, Ron Guidry, Bernie Williams, and now CC Sabathia. CC Sabathia does not belong on that list. That's absurd.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm 100%.
And again, I have nothing against CC. Never talked to him. I'm not anti-CC Sabathia here. He's not one of the all-time great Yankees. This is just not right. It's not right. Not right. George Steinbrenner will be rolling around on his grave. I can tell you that right now. It's not right.
Who do you think will be the next king to have their jersey retired?
The next king, it's somebody that's currently either in grade school, junior high school, or college.
Okay. All right.
Nope. Or a player that's currently in the NBA that's on another team.
So the Kings have hit everybody in the past, is what you're saying.
Correct. In my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I lean that way. You never know with Vivek, but yeah, I think it's somebody down the line for sure.
Hey, here's one. Did I miss the Kings season ticket price increase rant? I haven't gotten any messages other than the one individual, Pete, who said he wasn't deciding yet on whether he was going to renew.
He did follow up.
Oh, what did he say? I missed that.
I think he said that there was not an increase. Let me go
where
through
he
this.
sits. Now, I would, from what I've understood in the past, some sections do get an increase and others don't. So it's not uniform across the board. Is what I've in the past. I don't know. Maybe now it's different.
Yeah, he said that he is lower bowl. Let me see if we can find this really quick.
All right. Well,
here we
read
go.
that.
Here we go. Same
Yeah.
price. I'm in the lower bowl. Didn't seem to give anything else as incentive. Peter from Galt. So no new incentives such as lounge access for maybe a couple games, shooting a free throw after a game, players with a picture with a player twice a year.
All right. Fair enough.
Nothing like that.
All right, Grant, I spent a few years in Japan, and I love the train and subway system. It was so much better than New York City and London. Have you been anywhere around the world where you thought they had a great subway or train system? Yes, I have. As far as Japan, I would agree with you. Their train system is great. Switzerland's got the best train system in the world. There's nothing like it. It's spectacular. It's unbelievable. But in terms of a commuter like a subway or SkyTrain, I can tell you it's not BART. All right, so that's not on my list. I can tell you that.
From the 916, Russ is going in the rafters, Grant. That was my pause. That was 100% my pause.
There is zero chance that Russell Westbrook's going to have his jersey retired by the Sacramento Kings. Zero chance.
Are you going to move the percentage if he gets re-signed?
No.
Oh, see, I'm moving the percentage for sure. So I think I'm above zero right now.
I'm not.
Grant, he
Ryan, his jersey retired? Are you kidding me?
Grant, he broke the all-time leading scorers record for point guards in a Sacramento Kings.
So what?
Dude, Grant.
So what?
Sorry, I don't mean to call you dude.
Call me dude. I've been called a lot worse.
Partner, I'm with you. But you got to understand how this ownership group looks at those advertising
It would be embarrassing.
Opportunities.
It would be so embarrassing. God, that would be embarrassing.
Especially if multiple franchises retire Russ's jersey.
It would be so embarrassing. So embarrassing. That would be so. All right. By your account, then when's the Vince Carter jersey retirement going to be?
Vince Carter he had one 40-point game.
Oh, put him on, then hang him up in the rafters, put his jersey up there.
A completely different situation.
It's Vince Carter.
I know it's Vince Carter.
First ballot Hall of Famer. It's going to be, we all agree Russell Westbrook's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we're in agreement. I don't think anybody would disagree with that, correct?
I
can't.
I think we're copacetic.
But not here in Sacramento.
No, it should be with the Thunder only.
Exactly. So back to the question about best trains that I've ever been on in terms of a commuter train. Boy. Japan's pretty good. I would put that right up near the top of the list. And Bangkok has an amazing train system. It's spectacular. It's called the SkyTrain and the MRT. That's great. By the way, you can't drink or eat on the train, Ryan. No liquid, no food.
Okay.
There's no peddling going on the train.
Peddling?
Yeah, like people begging, and there's no playing live music where people bring their instruments on the train. Everyone's polite and orderly. Oh, just like in Japan, which I love. When you get on the train, there are footprints with an arrow. So when the doors open, the people come out the middle of the doors, and the people getting ready to come on are off to the sides.
Uh-huh.
And it's done uniformly, and there's never an issue. It's not like rudeness, pushing. No, it's very orderly.
A very polite and clean culture. Very.
All right. Now, you tell me if this would happen in either the Bay Area, Chicago, or New York. I'm just going to keep it to those three cities, okay? Or the three areas. About 2 years ago, I was in Bangkok, and they had a promotion where they had little toy pandas, stuffed furry toy pandas, and they attached them to every single handrail on the train. So there were about 50 in every car. All right? So where you hold on with the handle above you,
yeah,
right next to it, there would be a little cute little toy stuffed panda. A week later, still there. 2 weeks later, still there. Those things would be stolen before they could finish putting them up in both the Bay Area, Chicago, and New York. Those pandas would have a life expectancy as a stuffed toy on the subways in those three cities with the over-under at about 11 and a half seconds.
How do you know they didn't just put new pandas up or replace the taken ones
at
the end of each night?
Because I'll tell you why. Because there are certain cultures around the world where stealing is not acceptable. That's why.
There's certain cultures where the punishment for that is you don't want any part of that. Let's just put it that way.
All right, here we go. I'm in the upper bowl, section 211, and didn't, I don't know what, missed a word there, and the price didn't not increase.
Yep. Greg in Sunnyvale. Thanks, Greg. Dorian is asking, this is actually a good question, does Coach Adelman deserve to have a banner?
I would say yes, he does. A lot more than Russell Westbrook, I can tell you that.
Not as sexy, though.
There's a right way to do business and a wrong way. And so, in my opinion, yes, he should.
I wonder, okay. So
it's too late now.
Why is it too late?
It's 2026. He stopped coaching in 2008. It's just absurd. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to wait until he's no longer alive? I mean, if you're going to do it, it should have been done years ago.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And I love Rick. I like him as a person. I like him as a coach. I got along with Rick great. I'm a huge fan of his. 8 years in the playoffs. I mean, what do you think? Yes or no?
I say yes, but you know better than me about timelines because you've lived them. I think yes. I wonder how. So Sacramento would be a love fest if that happened.
Yeah.
But if the other happened and Russ did get his jersey retired, I wonder what that looks like that night in the G1C.
If who got their jersey retired?
Russ.
Oh, please. I mean, you're embarrassing. And I say this tongue in cheek. This is embarrassing to even talk about. It's embarrassing.
It is, but
right.
Is it?
When I say tongue in cheek, I'm not coming at you. This is an embarrassing conversation to have because I don't want people that are just tuning in thinking that we're campaigning to have Russell Westbrook's jersey. I'm making the comment that in no way, shape, or form, I'm putting it at 0%. 0% that would ever happen. 0%. And I will tell you, if I'm still doing the radio show here in Sacramento when that happens, they better put some earmuffs on.
I mean,
noise-canceling headset earmuffs. Okay?
With actual earmuffs.
And again, I'm not anti-Russ. I'm not I've heard nothing but great things about the guy since he came to Sacramento. I'm not trying to demean him in any way, shape, or form. I'm only going by, like, let's get real here. Common sense. I'm a common sense guy. I'm like, really? Are we even having this conversation? I mean, come on.
Well, great. We're having the conversation that he's still playing major minutes, that the coaching staff is still allowing him to chuck up as many shots at any point in the game that he wants to. You're seeing reports that he might return.
There is no way in the world Russell Westbrook's returning.
Hey,
there is no way.
Hey, I'm just saying, if this organization is that in love with him, which we apparently see on the floor, I'm not going to push that report out of the way.
Here's the problem with that. In my opinion, you're going to have a new coach, and any coach with a brain in their head is not going to want Russell Westbrook on the team. That's the problem. I'm sorry. That is the problem.
But what coach with a brain in their head has been able to deal with Vivek Ranadive?
Well, that's a great question. I don't have an answer for that one. What I do have an answer for is this. We need to take a break. And then we're coming back to wrap up the show right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
We are Fox Sports. The new year is here, a fresh opportunity to tell people about your products and services so they know who to spend their money with. Fox Sports Radio has a Mount Rushmore of sports talk talent. Patrick, Cowherd, Gottlieb, and Sacramento's own Grant Napear, and they have an audience you can take to the bank. This is Fox Sports General Manager Kurt Bagelman. Sports Talk listeners are a unique, target-rich group of consumers. They're employed, they earn six-figure incomes, 2/3 own their own homes, and they listen to the radio longer. Let me repeat that. They listen longer, so your commercial message has more opportunity to be heard. It costs nothing to learn how a good strategy and a great schedule could help your business. So call me, 916-779-0914. 916-779-0914. Radio gets results, and we are here to help. Call 916-779-0914.
We all want to look and feel our best. Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to live your best life every day. There are simple, practical, and inexpensive changes that you can make in your life today that will elevate your life in so many incredible ways. If it feels like it's time to hit that reset button and start living your best life now, Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to schedule a free healthy aging consultation with Dr. Dennis Godby, an accomplished author and expert in the art of aging gracefully. As we age, things change. We might start to experience lower energy, changes in mood, brain fog, or just a lack of motivation. And for guys, the onset of middle age can mean a lower libido and oftentimes ED. These things can usually be safely and easily treated. Visit gettingbetternow.com today and schedule your free healthy aging consultation with Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center, located in Midtown.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
By the way, just so you know, I'm not completely losing my mind. I was right. Sabathia did have a stint with the Brewers, and he was dominant in that year. In 2008, he was 11-2 after getting acquired in a trade with an ERA of 1.65 and 17 starts. I knew he did. I'm like, wait a minute. And then I'm like, well, yeah, Cleveland. But I remember him pitching from Milwaukee, and he was really, really good that year. Really good. Yeah. So I feel better now. I was like, come on, Grant, you can't get that wrong. And I'm like, no, all right. You think they're going to retire his jersey because he was there for a half season, went 11-2? He's got a lot of records. He's getting his jersey, getting his number retired by the Yankees.
Yeah, didn't he miss a ton of time as a Yankee?
Not. He did. He got hurt 1 year, not too much.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. The last Yankee to have, well, before Sabathia, I think was Paul O'Neill, but we'll see. All right. Again, if you want to call the show, 916-779-0929, 779-0929. Don't forget, tomorrow, Kevin Harlan, Sean Salisbury. Wednesday, I'm going to be taking the show on the road. We're going to be out at Bennett's in Roseville. Come on out and say hi to us. That is Wednesday at 3 o'clock, 3-hour show. And then on Saturday, out at the Capitol Beer Fest. Can't wait. Yes. Going to be great at the Capitol Mall. We'll be down there. Come on, see us. I'll be there. By the time the doors open, Rhino, I will be there, ready to roll.
You will be there.
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be coming up on Saturday, and the weather forecast looks ideal. All right, couple of scores. The Rockets are rolling over the Wizards 90-73 in D.C. with 2:50 left. Speaking of D.C., they've got a good subway system. Very good.
They came up on the text line.
Yeah, they're very good.
Good job.
Yeah.
Ali is checking in on the YouTube chat. Hey, Grant, Ali from Folsom again. Simply want to remind you to stay humble while you're talking about your best train experience.
Stay humble?
Yeah. You remember?
Yeah.
Because that idiot caller from Friday will be calling you.
Yeah,
LOL.
Yeah. You know what? Good job right there. Yeah.
Well done, Ali.
That is very good. Yes. My favorite subway system in the world is New York City. I love going on the subway in New York. I love it. Love it. It's by far not anywhere near the nicest, but I love it. Like I know I'm in New York when I'm waiting for the train I love the subway system in New York. I love it.
I just remember the sights and the smells and the sounds, just people playing music.
Yeah.
It's just, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
It's kind
I
of
love
cool.
it. I used to love going on the subway to Yankee Stadium on a big game, and the thing was packed, and everybody's going to the game, and you all of a sudden you look out, you go, oh, we're at 161st Street and River Avenue in the Bronx, because sometimes you could see the stadium depending on what line you're on. You look out the left, and you come out, and you're like, oh, there's Yankee Stadium, or you're underground, and you see you got to walk up the stairs. And
So when you were leaving a game, taking the subway, did you have to choose one of like 7 lines to
not
get
seven,
into?
Not 7, but 2 or 3.
Okay.
So yeah, absolutely. Because we would always park. My dad would always park near our church, right off of Park Avenue and 33rd Street. And my dad never paid for parking, so sometimes we'd literally drive and park 10 blocks away, and then walk to church, and then right after church, walk to the subway station that got you to Yankee Stadium. And the game started at 1 o'clock. We walked into Yankee Stadium every Sunday for a football game right about 12:55. It was like clockwork.
It's awesome. Steven RSVPing for Bennett's in the Brewfest. Appreciate you.
And by the way, if it was like a church where we couldn't bring our own food, my dad would give me 75 cents and my brother 75 cents. And that would normally buy 2 hot dogs, an ice cream, and a soda.
Wow.
Yeah.
What would that, okay, so like today, what would 75 cents, what do you think that would translate to? Maybe like $5?
Oh, gosh, that's a great question. Well, the prices are so absurd right now. You know what speaking of sports prices with concessions, it's kind of neat. More and more teams are following the lead of the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
With their concessions. And I can't remember which of the franchise it was. Maybe it was baseball or something. They're having like a eat and drink all you want for like $29, which you're like, wow, that's a lot. But it included like many different food items.
You know who is having a big influence on that? Don't laugh. The Savannah Bananas.
You know what? You're 100% correct. They are having a huge impact on that. You're absolutely correct. I'm not laughing because you're right.
When you go to a Bananas game, that's how they run things.
Yeah.
It's all inclusive.
I think with the way ticket prices are, the problem is these teams make so much on concessions. But I like that concept, don't you? Don't you think that's great?
Yeah, because the majority of people will not abuse it, right? You're going to have a small number of knuckleheads they'll take more than they can eat. But if you're taking a family, you're not going to let your kids slam 9 hot dogs and 7 packs of licorice, right?
Yeah.
I think it's more attractive because it takes one of those unknowns and makes it a capped known, like what I'm going to spend on food. Because you might say, oh, I'm not going to buy anything. And then you end up, getting something.
Well, I think it's great. I think more teams need to do this. I think it would really enhance the turnout for games. I think it would enhance the fan experience. I think it would be great. Hey, by the way, I meant to ask you this earlier, so I'm going to do it now. How many games do you want to see Jonathan Kuminga play with Atlanta before you say to yourself, wow, what a deal for them?
Oh, I need to see probably into next season. I probably want to see at least 15 into next season. But I think he looks good. It's a good fit. You got to think different system, more team-oriented in Atlanta. They don't have that one singular star. Now Jalen Johnson is kind of that guy that is on the rise, first-time All-Star this year. But I think it was an excellent deal for them. It's just like, why did we have to go through so much of that Kuminga watch for what they ended up trading him for?
I know. Well, it started last summer, right? And we thought it was going to be to Sacramento. We kept on hearing all. That's why I don't pay attention to rumors. You know how we always get questions on that on our YouTube shows, and we'll be on tomorrow, by the way, after the Kings and the Suns game. But I don't pay attention to that stuff because it rarely happens.
Yeah, that one was right, though. That was warm.
All right, did you hear anything between the Kings and Cleveland before that deal happened this year?
I knew Cleveland was interested in Keon. I knew nothing about Dennis.
Right, but you didn't know anything about DeAndre Hunter coming to Sacramento.
No, I did not.
That's my point.
Absolutely not.
When the Kings traded Tyrese Halliburton and Buddy Hield to the Pacers, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, very true. And it was, by the way, with the Warriors, that was the white flag because Porzingis was a salary dump.
That's right.
Because he's an expiring contract this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it takes, listen, I know a lot of people want to jump on and go, oh, gee, look at Kuminga in the first 3 games or whatever. You can need a lot more than 3 games. All right? A lot of things can change.
Now, if they make a decent playoff run,
yep,
they knock somebody off that they shouldn't, and Kuminga is at the forefront of that, then yeah, that could change something on the quicker side.
Don't forget tomorrow, Kevin Harlan, the one of the great announcers, I think, of his generation. I love Kevin as a person, as an announcer. I don't know if there's an announcer anywhere that has the energy and the style that Kevin has. I love his style. It's how I grew up. It's what I always wanted to be in terms of an energetic announcer. I think Kevin is great. Listen, if you're doing the Super Bowl every year on radio for the nation, you're pretty good. That's a good gig right there, right? That's pretty good. And he's done so many fabulous things in his career. And I have a couple of questions I'm going to ask him tomorrow that I've always wanted to ask him, and I never have. Kevin Harlan will be coming on the show tomorrow at about 3:05 because it's the only time he could do it. And then Sean Salisbury right after Grant's Rant. Wednesday, yes, indeed, Olden Polynice will be on. I am looking forward to talking with OP. Brian Knight, former MLB umpire, retired last year. He will be in person with me from Bennett's. All right, we're going to talk a lot about this new system of challenging balls and strikes. That's coming up on Wednesday. Bennett's Roseville, whether it's Sacramento Roseville or the West Side Grill, you'll love it. Bennett's will be out there on Wednesday afternoon from 3 to 6. Then on Saturday at the Capitol Mall for the Capitol Beer Fest. So we got a busy week, very busy week. Looking forward to it. And you know the deal. Tomorrow and after the Kings games, you can find us on YouTube and X. Jerry Reynolds, Rhino in Sacktown, yours truly. That's tomorrow. It's going to be. Is Jerry going to make it tomorrow?
Yeah, Jerry's good. Jerry's good. We are all set to roll.
All right.
Be nice to be back on the air.
Yeah, I talked to Jerry today. He said he's feeling a lot better, so I'm happy about that. It will be good to be back And we'll see if the Kings can have a good homestand here. You don't want to have too good because you don't want to screw things up, but you just let the basketball gods work their deal.
You can have good without winning.
That's right. You can have good without winning. That's very true. Great point. You're exactly right. You can have good without winning. And we'll know, well, probably in the morning, more likely in the morning, what the availability is for Devin Booker. He's pointing to tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, then the game Thursday for his return. Dylan Brooks is out for a couple of weeks with that broken hand. Bad loss. I'll tell you, if Phoenix is healthy when the playoffs start, they're going to be a tough out. I don't think they're going to be an easy opponent.
I don't want to see him.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, you don't have to worry. If you're a Kings fan, you won't see him. Again, Kevin Harlan tomorrow. Sean Salisbury tomorrow. Looking forward to it. I hope you have a great evening, everybody. Thanks for making your Monday afternoon part of my Monday afternoon. Appreciate you. For Rhino and Sacktown, I'm Grant Napear saying so long, and thanks so much for listening to Fox Sports Sacramento. Bye-bye now.